Hello everyone, welcome back. And if you can hear my voice and look at the slide, if you're able to see the slide, send a hi. Uh, you can see the slide of the Mughal Empire. This is the topic which you are going to start today. Okay, so here we go. So before I start the topic today, I would like to say that this is the last topic which we are doing in our course, uh, Mughal India, and tomorrow also we will continue with this topic. We are also going to deal with the art and architecture of this period tomorrow. And for all those students who have done my Modern India class, I have already taught you people the decline of Mughal Empire. I have also tried to deal with the history of Sikhs, Marathas, and all those things. Whatever is required, whatever is important for your exam point of view, I have dealt with it in your Modern India class. That is supposed to be my first lecture in the Modern India class, which I take. But anyways, if the time permits tomorrow, I will discuss a little bit of decline of Mughal Empire. But to the best of my knowledge, that portion should be covered by the teacher who is taking up the Modern India course, because that's how the penetration of European empires can also be, or Europeans can also be explained. But anyway, if the time permits tomorrow, I will just definitely discuss the decline of Mughal Empire tomorrow. And here today we are going to talk about the Mughal Empire. I hope your white sheet of paper is ready, where you can jot down the important terms and all the important words, which we make a list of, the white list, which we call. Uh, I'm sure the medieval white list you can call it. All right, which will be very helpful in your examination. So as I told you, these are the last two lectures which I'm going to take today and tomorrow, and I've tried to deliver as best as possible in these restricted times and limited and adverse situations. And my whole purpose was that you should at least come across or go through the very important aspects of ancient and medieval. Most of us do not enjoy studying ancient and medieval so much, so I try to make it as interesting as possible. And if you've noticed that in ancient and in some part of early medieval, I also discuss some questions. Tomorrow also, I will discuss some questions after this Mughal Empire is over. So I want you all to revise all this. And tomorrow, after we finish the Mughal Empire, I will do some questions from the early medieval part and from the Mughal Empire. And then it will be a quick test for all of us. Then the second thing which I want to uh, tell you is that tomorrow's class is very important. There will be some important announcements from my side, and which will be beneficial for you. So for that, you have to be there tomorrow, especially. Tomorrow's class is important, and you know my last class, because I am so much emotionally attached to so many students that my last class is a very special class for me. Uh, but this is a virtual medium, so I cannot we cannot celebrate that last class as I do occasionally, or as I do always. So, we'll do all these things tomorrow. We'll discuss all these things tomorrow. So tomorrow's class is important for some important announcements from my end. So let us all begin. Okay, so this is the time of Mughals. We have reached that stage that we should study the Mughal Empire, and Mughal Empire is such a celebrated topic in history, and I'm sure so many of you already know about the Mughal Empire. It's one of the most well-read portion, well-written portion. The beautiful art and architecture, also one of the most debated portions of history. So you all are very much aware of Mughal Empire. Now here is some uh, some caution which I would like to give you, that you don't have to become very adventurous when it comes to UPSC. I know there are so many facts, there are so many works, there are so many debates, there's so many pictures, so many monuments, everything is in excess. And since I have a limitation both of knowledge and also of resources and time, that we cannot discuss every bit and tiny thing, but everything which is important for examination, which is very striking for your understanding and retention. All those things will be I hope to cover them. Okay, and बाकी जो चर्चा है वो जब हम मिलेंगे तो चाय पे चर्चा हो जाएगी और सारे मुगल एम्पायर के एस्पेक्ट्स पे. But right now we will just focus what is important from the exam point of view. So I would request you कि तुम थोड़ा सा जो adventurous तुम्हारा जो सोल है, आई नो यू पीपल आर वेरी एडवेंचरस, उसको थोड़ा सा दबा के अभी रखना. ओके, बिकॉज 2 दिन में ये पोर्शन पूरा कंप्लीट करना है मेरे को. So I start with the Mughal Empire now. Students, this is the thing from where I want to start. Okay, the Mughal Empire. On the right hand side, you see a painting. Now, this is a miniature painting. Miniature paintings are the small paintings. Miniature, mini se miniature hai. Now, if you see this painting, this is not a very sadharan painting. It's a very important painting which is on the imagination of a painter. Now, here in the center, you see Timur. Timur, and who is Timur? Well, we start the Mughal history with Babur, but Timur is actually the beginner of the family from where the Mughal Empire comes from. So Timur is at the center, and you see this painter has tried to draw all the descendants of Timur or the Mughal Empire who are sitting next to him. Definitely, it is not possible कि तिमूर के समय में शाहजहां और औरंगजेब और जहांगीर भी रहे हों, ऐसा नहीं पॉसिबल है. बट ये एक इमेजिनेशन है और बहुत अच्छी इमेजिनेशन है जो सारे जो तिमूर के वंशज हैं, all those who became rulers of Timur after Timur in India, being a part of Mughal Empire, has been shown in this miniature painting. For example, if you see that at the center there is Timur, and on the right is his son Miran Shah. Okay, Miran Shah is the at the right. He's in fact the first Mughal emperor, Babur's great great grandfather. The Timur के जो पर बाबा है, ओके, ग्रेट पर बाबा, ओके, सो पर दादा यानी ग्रेट ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर is Miran Shah. So Miran Shah is painted or is seated on the next to Timur on his right hand side, followed by Abu Sayyid. Abu Sayyid is Babur's grandfather. Okay, so where Timur के बाद Miran Shah के बाद Abu Sayyid is Babur's grandfather. Okay, then to the left of Timur, if you see to the left of Timur, the person who is wearing a green turban, okay, with a striped robe, he is Sultan Muhammad Mirza. Now, Sultan Muhammad Mirza is Babur's great grandfather. Okay, Babur's great grandfather, Sultan Muhammad Mirza. Then you have Babur's father. Now, Babur's father is Umar Sheikh. Umar Sheikh is Babur's father. Then after Babur, you have Akbar and Shah Jahan sitting. Akbar and Shah Jahan sitting. And then on Timur's left, you would see that Humayun, Jahangir, and Aurangzeb sitting in that line. Now, you know, it's a very famous and a very popular thing कि वो जो recitation होता है ना कि बाबर का बेटा कौन, उसका बेटा कौन, you know, ये सब लोग रटते हैं, याद करते हैं. Alright, but somehow people do not know कि बाबर के father का नाम, उनके father का नाम. So anyways, this kind of painting, I assume, was made so that people could learn the dynasty or could learn the, you know, lineage of the Timur and his descendants in a chronological manner. So this is a very important painting which tells us about all the rulers starting from Timur to Aurangzeb. Alright, so ये पेंटिंग जब भी आपको ध्यान में आएगी, जब भी आप मुगल एम्पायर का स्टार्ट करें, so just try to imagine this painting. It's a beautiful painting. कौन जानता था तिमुर के बाद इतने उनके वंशज? Such a strong empire would be laid by these people. Okay, starting from Timur. Now, this is actually the extent of the Mughal Empire till the Aurangzeb's reign. So Aurangzeb or Alamgir's reign. So it's still, you see, it covers almost entire part of India from Indian subcontinent, from the east to west, north to south, everywhere. It's only Mughal. That is why it's seen as the one of the biggest and one of the important empires. So you have to make a note here that there are Portuguese also. There are Portuguese, if you see in you in this Bombay area, then Goa area, and so forth. So there are other people also who are a part of the Indian subcontinent. It's not only that the Mughals are ruling, but they are in a very limited zone. Then you see Jats, Rajput, Marathas. They are all subsidiary to the Mughal Empire in the end. So this is the final. This is when the Mughal Empire was at its zenith, okay, at its might. So ये जो है ये उस समय का map है, ठीक है? So this map is there. Now let us start with Babur. Actually, we must start. We should start with Timur and all these people. When we study medieval India from Indian perspective, so we start with Babur. Therefore, not going here and there and coming to the point. Now, when I talk about Babur, he is definitely the founder of the Mughal Empire. His original name is Zahiruddin Muhammad. So I want you to write in your white list. Please be very, very particular about all these names now, because अगर 5 क्वेश्चन मेडिवल से आने वाले हैं तो उनमें से 2 क्वेश्चन तो डेफिनेटली मुगल इंडिया से हैं. ओके, सो यू हैव टू बी देयर शुड बी नो डाउट एट ऑल. ऑलराइट, देयर शुड बी नो डाउट इन एनी क्वेश्चन. इसके कोई भी क्वेश्चन आपको गलत नहीं करना है. ऑलराइट, ये जो है बात गांठ बांध लो. सो द फर्स्ट नेम हियर इज Zahiruddin Muhammad. Okay, Zahiruddin Muhammad is the first name. Now, when you read Zahiruddin, why I haven't asked you to write Babur? Because instead of Babur, it's important to write Zahiruddin Muhammad. Then you will be able to remember that he is Babur. And when you're remembering Babur, you have to remember some points. Number one, that he was related to Timur, okay, from his father's side, and Changiz Khan through his mother. So he comes from that dynasty जहाँ पे ददियाल और ननियाल दोनों बहुत ही strong है इनके. Timur from father's side and Changiz Khan from his mother's side. He's the person who succeeds his father, Umar Sheikh Mirza. So we've just discussed Umar Sheikh Mirza, and who was the ruler of Farghana. So if you see this map, on the left-hand side, Safed dynasty se thoda sa pehle, there is this region of Farghana. But anyways, you don't need to locate it in your map. That is not necessary. But Umar Sheikh Mirza's son is Babur, who is Zahiruddin Muhammad actually. He is defeated by his distant relative and lost his kingdom, remained wanderer for some time, and later captured Kabul from one of his uncles. He launched 4 expeditions in India between 1519 to 1526. Now, बाबर के लिए ये कहा जाता है he was never a settled ruler. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो ठीक है कोई चीज जीत गया और फिर उसको वहां पे राज कर रहा है और वो सिंहासन पे बैठा हुआ. He was nothing like that with Babur. He was always on a move. Okay, he was always on his toes. He had fought so many battles and he had lost battles. So he was throughout his life, he's always been running on his toes. All right. So that is important aspect of Babur, and he was of that time. Now here on the left hand side, there is a miniature small painting which shows Babur. Okay. Now moving ahead, let us discuss about his military conquest. That's more important. And because as I told you that most of his life he is, in fact all of his life he is fighting battles. He's always in the battlefield. So in 1525, when Babur wanted to invade India, there were actually 5 prominent Muslim rulers here. So there was Sultan of Delhi, there was Sultan of Gujarat, there was Sultan of Malwa, Sultan of Bengal, and Deccan. So there are 5 different Muslim rulers. Now, by this time, it should come to your mind. You should just close your eyes and try to locate this area in the map, because you've come across these areas a number of times. At least Bengal, Deccan, Delhi, Gujarat, you should know where is Malwa. And there were, apart from these 5 prominent Muslim rulers, there were 2 of the Hindu rulers. For example, Rana Sangha of Mewar and the Vijayanagar Empire. So we have discussed Vijayanagar Empire in so much of detail, isn't it? So there was Rana Sangha of Mewar and Vijayanagar Empire. I want you to write this name, Rana Sangha, so that if the question comes, who was contemporary to Babur, so you should remember that Rana Sangha of Mewar was contemporary to Babur. Now, Babur started his conquest or started from Kabul to conquer India. He occupied Lahore easily by defeating the governor Daulat Khan Lodi. So Lodi वहां पे थे और Lodis को defeat किया वहां पे बाबर ने. And you should write this name, Daulat Khan Lodi. So Daulat Khan Lodi is also contemporary to Babur. All right. So these questions come a lot of time. Now, what is more important is the first battle of Panipat. Okay, so the fourth word which you should write here is the first battle of Panipat. And first battle of Panipat, likhne ke baad in your white sheet of paper, you must put a dash and write Babar versus Ibrahim Lodi. Babar versus Ibrahim Lodi. And it is the Battle of Panipat, which is taking place on 21st April 1526. All right. Uh, Now, this Battle of Panipat is very important because in this battle, Ibrahim Lodi is killed. Okay. Uh, I have also given you a just a reminder of the previous lecture that Ibrahim Lodi was the Sultan of Delhi and Alam Khan and Daulat Khan Lodi invited Babur to invade India. So this is what happened when we were discussing the early medieval India end. So we were discussing that it was Babur was invited by Alam Khan and Daulat Khan Lodi to invade India. All right. So anyways, Ibrahim Lodi dies in the Battle of Panipat. All right. Now, what was the Babur's key to success? Babur's keys to success was his cavalry and artillery. Now, unlike Lodi, Babur had an army and his equipments, his techniques, his military tools, his strategies, his armaments were so important in winning the Battle of Panipat. Now, here I have highlighted one point that he used gunpowder also. All right, so we are going to discuss a little bit of gunpowder a little later, but right now you have to keep this in mind that he uses gunpowder also. He occupies Delhi and he sent his son Humayun to seize Agra. All right, Babur proclaimed himself as Emperor of Hindustan. So he is the person who proclaims himself as the Emperor of Hindustan. Soon he proved that why he deserved to be the emperor of India. Definitely, the extension of empire which starts during the time of Babur or जो नींव वो रखता है इंडिया में, it proves his caliber. All right, so this is about Battle of Panipat. Now, here is a very important this portrait or this picture, which is very famous picture, which shows Mughal artillery and troops. All right, during the Battle of Panipat in 1526. Okay, now I want you to focus on one thing here. Now, do you see these three kinds of wheels or wheels पे इस तरह की चीजें रखी हुई, ठीक है? And these kind of artillery or machinery of which he uses is very different from what Lodhi's possessed. All right. Now, what are these? So this is a better picture here where it is shown that uh, there on the left hand you would see a picture where these to fire the gun this gun गोला जो फायर करने के लिए ये जो मशीनरी यहाँ पे यूज की जा रही है. All right, this is very different and when this is in comparison to what Lodhis can defend. This is a very good move by Babur and his soldiers. Okay, and this is how it helps Babur to win the battle because of such kind of things which he's using. See on your right hand side, there's another picture. Okay, so definitely these are later drawings, but they tell us a lot about that time. Now the question here is, which comes in the exams and which have been asked often, that can it be said that the gunpowder was used for the first time by Babur? See, if you go back to your previous slide, I have not written that the gunpowder was used by Babur for the first time in Indian subcontinent. It's not true. All right, Babur is not the first person to use gunpowder. All right. In fact, gunpowder and gunpowder weapon. So this is a gunpowder weapon. Okay. Gunpowder and gunpowder weapons were transmitted to India through the Mongol invasions. So it is first the Mongol invasions which happened in India long time back, that through which gunpowder and gunpowder weapons के बारे में Indian subcontinent को पता चलता है. And Mongols were defeated by Alauddin Khilji of the Delhi Sultanate, and some of the Mongol soldiers remained in North India after their conversion to Islam. Now, this is a very important aspect. To all the students whom I've taught world history, and when we were discussing that how soldiers learn from other soldiers, from other country soldiers, or their enemies also, their techniques, their technology, their culture. Now, here also, some Mongolian soldiers remain in North India, and they are after they convert to Islam. All right, and it is through them that the various knowledge is introduced to Indian subcontinent. One such knowledge is about the gunpowder and gunpowder weapons. Now, in Tariq-e-Farishta, which is written in 1606 and 1607, the envoy of the Mongol ruler Hulagu Khan was presented with a pyrotechnics display upon his arrival in Delhi in 1258 CE as a part of an embassy to India by Timurid Shah Rukh. So Shah Rukh is not Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh is a Timurid leader who tries to display a lot of pyrotechnics display. So he tries to show the weaponry and the implements, the techniques, and all these kind of show of war implements and war tools. Okay, and this is mentioned in Tariq Farishta. So I want you to write this name. I want you to write this Tariq-e-Farishta. Now, whenever you see Tariq-e-Farishta in your white list, it should strike to you a number of things. First of all, what does it talks about? Then it should strike to you about the gunpowder and the gunpowder weapons, and that it was brought by Mongols for the first time. Okay, now firearms are known as तोपे तुफक. So तोप होता है ना, तोपे तुफक. So ये जो हम पहले दिखा रहे थे, those were topes basically. So तोपे फुतक, which also existed in the Vijayanagar Empire as early as 1366 CE. So as early as 1366 CE, you have the तोप. तोप जो है वो उस समय उसका evidence मिलता है. From then on, the employment of gunpowder warfare in the region was prevalent, with events such as the siege of Belgaum in 1473 CE by the Sultan Muhammad Shah Bahmani of the Bahmani kingdoms. So, from the Vijayanagar Empire only, you could say that the gunpowder warfare was known to the people. Alright, so ये जो aspect है ये बहुत important है. इस पे क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं कि gunpowder or gunpowder weapon was first introduced by Mughals or Babur in the Indian subcontinent, which is not true, because historical evidences have shown that from the Vijayanagar Empire onwards, with the evidence of Tope Tufak, or in the Muhammad Shah Bahmani's rule in the when he seizes Belgaum, this gunpowder and gunpowder weapons are known. Okay, in fact, Tariq-e-Farishta and Mongol invasions also give us evidences. So coming back to the top of Babur, there are certain important battles which he fought. So first of all, we've already discussed about first battle of Panipat. The second important battle here is Battle of Khanua. So you can write in your white list, Battle of Khanua. Battle of Khanua. Now, in Battle of Khanua, you have Rana Sangha of Mewar, okay, and he's a great Rajput warrior, and he marched against Babur in the Battle of Khanua near Agra, held in 1527, and Babur won a decisive victory over him. In fact, this is the time when Babur assumed the title Ghazi. Okay, so Battle of Khanua के बाद bracket में आप लिख लीजिए Ghazi. Now this word Ghazi should remind you that Ghazi is a title here which Babur assumes after which battle? After the Battle of Khanua. So he's not assuming the title of Ghazi after the Battle of Panipat. It's after the Battle of Khanua. And Ghazi, what does the word Ghazi means actually? Ghazi means a Muslim fighter against non-Muslim. So Ghazi is a Muslim fighter who is fighting against non-Muslim. So Battle of Khanwa में क्या आपको ध्यान में रखना है? It was fought against Rana Sanga of Mewar. Then Babur, after winning the battle, wins the battle and assumes the title Ghazi. And he, what does Ghazi means? Ghazi means a Muslim fighter against a non-Muslim. As simple as that. Then after Battle of Khanwa becomes important is Battle of Chanderi and Ghagra. Okay, so Battle of Chanderi and Battle of Ghagra. So you can write these separately. Battle of Chanderi, and the next word you can write Battle of Ghagra. Also remember, we are writing these chronologically. ठीक है, we are writing this chronologically. तो कभी क्वेश्चन अगर ऐसा आता है कि arrange them in chronology, so तब भी आपको confusion नहीं होनी चाहिए because you are writing in the white list chronologically. Now, Battle of Chanderi is a battle, another Rajput ruler, Medini Rai. So in Battle of Chanderi, you in the bracket you write Medini Rai. In the bracket you can write Medini Rai. And in the next battle, which is Battle of Ghagra. Now Ghagra is not Gogra, or it's not. It's you know, it's a confluence of Ganga and Ghagra in Bihar. This is where the he defeats Afghans in the Battle of Ghagra. So in the bracket you can write Afghans. You can just mention Afghans in the bracket in Battle of Ghagra. Now, by these victories, Babur has consolidated his power in India. So you see how many battles he's winning. And he dies at Agra in 1530 at the age of 47. And during this time, Humayun was ill most of the time, and Babur was used to pray that the illness should be transferred to him. Okay, so Humayun was a very he used to be very often he used to fall ill, and every time this as a he used to pray to God कि ये बाबर जो है हुमायूं जो है ये स्वस्थ रहे, he should not die. So most of the time he used to pray that Humayun should not fall sick. All right, so Babar dies at Agra. Now, how do you estimate Babar as a ruler, or how do you see Babar as a ruler? Definitely, he's a great statesman. He's a man of solid achievements. He's a great scholar. Now, this is a very important point. He's a great scholar in Arabic and Persian language. Now, when you see this line, he's a great scholar in Arabic and Persian language, it should remind you of this picture, which he's reading. Okay, so this should remind you of the picture that he's not an illiterate person, okay, or he's not uneducated. In fact, for Babar, it is known as a fact that though his mother tongue was Turkish, he knows Arabic and Persian language, and therefore he writes Tuzuki Babri in Turki. Okay, Tuzuki Babri, which is also known as Babar Nama, which is a book of Babar and letters of Babar. Okay, so this is what is Tuzuki Babri. It's actually a memoir. Okay, he wrote his memoir, and so you can write the next word in your white list as Tuzuki Babri. Okay, Tuzuki Babri, and it should always you should always remember, since T for Tuzuki and T for Turkish. So it's not written in Arabic or Persian, but it is written in Turkey language. So Tuzuki Babri is the next word which you should write, which is also known as Babur now. Now, it it does not only give us the detail about Babar and his letters and his memorial, but also it tells us about account of it. It's a vivid account of India. It tells us about the Indian subcontinent here. He frankly confesses his own failures without suppressing them. In fact, so when you write your diary, most of us have a habit of writing diary. But while writing your diary, what do you think? Sometimes we think कि अगर ये डायरी किसी और ने पढ़ ली तो उसको हमारे बारे में एक अच्छा इंप्रेशन जाना चाहिए. So most of the time you skip writing some failures or bad details or gray areas of your personality, which should not be the case. Your diary is your friend, so you should write everything about yourself: good, bad, black, white, successes and failures. So he in fact confesses his failures when he writes his facts. And he was a nature lover and described the flora and fauna of India. So this is another important aspect which we get from Babar's work, that about the nature, about flora, about fauna, which we get from Babar Nama. So here I have tried to show you two pictures from Babur Nama. Now, definitely I'm trying to show you the pictures of flora and fauna. For example, on your left hand side, you see animals of Hindustan, which he writes small deers and cows, and especially that he calls it Guinea. Guinea is what he calls to the cows. And there you can see that there are deers, there are cows. So, and below there is a picture which shows fauna of Indian subcontinent or the Indian the place where he is located. So he tries to show, because he's often traveling so much. All right, so he's traveling to various landscapes. Now, what is the reason why I'm showing you this picture? Is sometimes in some questions it asks, Baba Nama does not talk or talks about these things. So most of the times when there is this line that it talks about the flora and fauna of Indian subcontinent, people think that it is wrong, which is right. He talks about the flora and fauna, and it shows his aesthetic sense of and his love towards its nature. So this is an important. That is why these two pictures I have selected, so that it remains in your mind. Then again, here you see that Babur and there are a group of men, including his son Humayun, who is the next emperor, were encamped near Bagram, and where they told that a rhinoceros has been seen nearby. And since Humayun had never seen a rhinoceros, they rushed to find it. So this is a very interesting picture where what is happening, that there is a news that there's a rhinoceros nearby, and since Humayun had never seen a rhinoceros, so बाप अपने बेटे को हुमायूं को rhinoceros दिखाने ले जाता है. Now I want you to take a note, is that these are not just pictures, there are descriptions also. Okay, so they are illustrated. All right, so there's a picture and there is a illustration. So it's not only illustration, or there is not only description or text, but the text is accompanied by the picture, and picture is accompanied by a text, which is a very important aspect of these Mughal paintings and writings. Then there is a squirrel, and a peacock and a felon and all these birds and animals in the next picture. Anyway, so we move on. Now, moving ahead, talking about Humayun. Now, he's the eldest son of Babur. Okay, now what does Humayun mean? Humayun means fortune, but he is supposed to be the most unfortunate ruler of the Mughal Empire. Okay, if we keep the later Mughals aside, uh, he seemed to be as one of the most unfortunate ruler of the Mughal Empire. Why we will see this. Now he has stepbrothers of Humayun are Kamran, Askari, and Hindal. He succeeded to the throne, which was full of thorns, and there were so many contenders. Probably he was the only king to treat his stepbrothers as real brother and receive betrayal in his response. Okay, so इसने तो अपने भाइयों को अपना समझा, but he received a lot of, मतलब उसके पीठ पे छुरा घोंपने वाले बहुत सारे लोग. So there were so many people who betrayed him. Probably only ruler in the history of India whose rule included two spells. So this is another important aspect of Babur, of Humayun, that he doesn't have a smooth continuous stretch of rule, because we will see that first set of rule is 1530 to 1540, and then there we'll see Sher Shah Kamsuri coming into the picture, and then again he returns as a tiger in 1555. So 1555 to 1556 is another term. So there are two terms of his rule, because in the middle there is another ruler coming up. So Humayun divides the empire among his brother, but this haunted him later on. So we'll see later on that how these division of his empire amongst his brothers is not a great idea. So Kamran was given Kabul and Khandar, Askari is given Rohila Khan, and Hindal is given Mewat. Mewat is today's Alwar, Mathura, and Gurgaon. So this area is known as Mewat ka, Mewat's region. So there are these step brothers among whom these empires are divided. All right. So there's nothing to write in your white sheet right now. They do not ask कि कामरान अस्करी and हिंदल ऐसे political history पे बहुत ज़्यादा questions नहीं आते. Now there's a Bahadur Shah of Gujarat who is really a headache in Humayun's head, because it's a big trouble for Humayun. When Humayun was fighting with Afghans in the east, Bahadur Shah started to march towards Delhi. So वही हो गया कि एक तरफ कुआं दूसरी तरफ खाई, because he was fighting with Afghans in the east, and from Delhi area, you see Bahadur Shah of Gujarat marching towards the Delhi from Gujarat. And it was in 1535 that Bahadur attacked on Chittor, and Rani Karnavati, who is the Rani of Chittor, sent a Rakhi to Humayun and asked for help. Now, बचपन में कहानी पढ़ी होगी राखी की लाज. Some people also say that the festival of Raksha Bandhan is linked to this episode, or started with this episode. Now there are these two pictures that I have already given you so that you remember. So हुमायूं को रानी कर्णावती ने एक राखी भेजी थी, so that he saves her empire from Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. And well, at that time, what Humayun did, that he invaded Bengal and he assured the Rani for help, and he left the expedition in midway and reached up to Gwalior, but he was late and Bahadur had ransacked Chittor. So Chittor पे already Bahadur Shah ने attack कर दिया था. Humayun reached Chittor and did defeat Bahadur Shah and reinstated Karnavati's son Vikramaditya Singh as the ruler of Mewar after the mass suicide. So there was a mass suicide, and but you know, Humayun ne Rakhi ki laaj rakhi. He went back and he helped Vikramaditya uh, be seated on his rightful throne. All right, and Humayun appointed Askari as governor of Gujarat, but soon Bahadur Shah recovered it. So after, though he kept his Rakhi ki laaj, but uh, Bahadur Shah came back again and he got this Gujarat, this area back. In the meantime, Sher Khan has become powerful in the east. Now, this is the time when Sher Khan is going to come and going to put a small break in the reign of Humayun. Now, here I just want you to write two names. First is definitely Bahadur Shah of Gujarat, Bahadur Shah of Gujarat, and Bahadur Shah of Gujarat in your white list. And second, you should write the name of Rani Karnavati. Now, these two names are going to remind you about the entire episode which is taking place here. And definitely, when you think about Rani Karnavati or Chittor from now onwards, the picture, especially on your left hand side, will come to your mind. है कि नहीं? So, this is how you will link. The only thing you have to remember that the Mughal ruler who is prevalent in this, who is relevant in this episode, is Humayun. Now, Humayun loses the empire to Sher Shah. Humayun marched against Sher Khan in the Battle of Chausa. Now, there is another important battle. Now, this time, this is the battle which Humayun is fighting against Sher Shah or Sher Khan. And this is Battle of Chausa. Okay, Battle of Chausa. Now, uh, but what happens is that he have to escape because of Mughals army's defeat. So Humayun escapes because he is defeated, and Humayun reaches Agra and asks cooperation from his brothers. Now, जो मैंने पहले slide में आपको बताया था कि इसने अपने he distributed his empire or divided his empire amongst his stepbrothers, but his stepbrothers are not as generous as him. Because when he reaches Agra and asks cooperation from his brothers, they refuse. And so Humayun have to fight alone. Sher Khan alone against Sher Khan in the Battle of Bilgram in 1540. So in the Battle of Bilgram, he fights against Sher Khan in the Battle of Bilgram alone. So another battle here is Battle of Bilgram. Okay, in 1540. The battle was known as Battle of This battle was known as Battle of Kannauj. Humayun was thoroughly defeated by Sher Khan and became an exile for 15 years. Okay, so another battle here is Battle of Kannauj. Anyway, so you can write Battle of Kannauj also. So he fights many battles with Sher Shah. Now, before coming to Sher Shah, let us just quickly look at the list. Uh, can you quickly tell me whose name is Zahiruddin Muhammad? Zahiruddin Muhammad is whose name? Quickly tell me whose name is Zahiruddin Muhammad? Okay, so Babar's name is Zahiruddin Muhammad. And then can you tell me, okay, so you have written Daulat Khan Lodi, you have written Rana Sangam of Mewar. Then can you tell me first battle of Panipat is fought with between two rulers? उनके नाम बताइए. Two rulers जिनके बीच first battle of Panipat लड़ी गई है. Ibrahim Lodi and Babar. Good. Then you must have written, good, Babar and Ibrahim Lodi. Then you must have written Tariq-e Farishta. Tariq-e Farishta. Now, the next important thing you have written is Battle of Khanua. Now, you have written Battle of Khanua and you have written in the brackets, you have written Ghazi. Okay. Then you have written Battle of Chanderi, which is in the bracket, you have written Medini Rai. Okay. Then is the Battle of Ghagra. Now, can you please tell me, Battle of Ghagra is fought against whom? Battle of Ghagra is fought against whom? Afghans. Good, good. And can you tell me, Battle of Khanwa, after which Ghazi is the title taken, is by Babur. Against whom does he fight this? Against whom Battle of Khanwa is fought? Rana Sangam. Okay, good. So these are the battles. Then written Tuzuke Babari. Now, can you remind me? Can you remind me? Tuzuke Babari is written in which language? Tuzuke Babari is written in which language? It's written in Turkish language. Good. Then you must have written Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. You must have written Rani Karnavati. Then can you tell me who is the Mughal ruler? Who is the Mughal ruler with whom these battles are associated? Battle of Chausa, Battle of Bilgram, and Battle of Kannauj. Battle of Chausa, Battle of Bilgram, and Battle of Kannauj. Yes, the Mughal ruler is Humayun. And it is against whom that he is fighting? It is against whom that he is fighting these battles? Sher Shah. Good. So this is how Sher Shah. So this is how you have covered the entire white list. I hope this is being helpful to you people. And जो बीच की जो story है वो आपको दिमाग में आती रहनी चाहिए. So good. Now let's come to the period where Sher Shah Suri or Sur dynasty comes for a little bit of time. But this is a very important time period. This is a famous sketch of Sher Shah, which I have put in the right hand column here. Now, he's the founder of the Sur dynasty, Sher Shah. His original name is Farid. So please write, instead of writing Sher Shah, please write Farid. Farid in your white list. Farid in your white list. And his father is Hassan Khan, who is the Jagirdar of Sasaram in Bihar. So Sasaram is a place in Bihar, all right. And his father, his name was Hassan Khan, and he was a Jagirdar in that area. Initially, Farid served under the Afghan rule of Bihar, who gave him the title of Sher Khan for his bravery. So Sher Shah Suri is actually was actually serving under the Afghan rules in Bihar, and after that, he becomes the ruler of Delhi in 1540 by defeating Humayun in the battles we have discussed. So it is not just one battle, there are many battles in which Humayun is defeated, and this is how Sher Shah comes into the power. All right. So this is the extent of Sher Shah's empire. The pink area, if you see, is the area where Sher Shah rules. So he has extensive. Now, if you see that he's also ruling in the area where there is Rajasthan and these areas where Rajputs rule. So he has extensive wars on Rajput, and this helped him extend his empire. He conquest included Sindh, Punjab, Malwa, Multan, and Buldenkhand. Okay, so this area which is in pink you can see. So he is not ruling Kashmir, he is not ruling South India or Deccan. In fact, he's not ruling the major part of Gujarat also. Okay, so just make a note of this empire where he is extending. His empire consisted of the North India, except now this is why I'm saying you that this telling you that this can be part of the question in the prelims. एक्सेप्ट वाला पार्ट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज इट कम्स डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द टेक्स्ट बुक. Assam, Nepal, Kashmir, and Gujarat, entire North India, but he's not ruling the northeastern area of Assam and all areas. Then he's not ruling Kashmir, he's not ruling Nepal, he's not ruling Gujarat. Other than that, the entire North India is under his control. Okay, so this map will definitely help you in reminding you the empire. What about his administration? Now, he is known for his administration because his administration is brilliant. Okay. The central government consists of several department ministers. All right. Now, this king was assisted by four important ministers. Now, these are the words which you have to write down in your white list. Okay. The first word here is Diwani Vizarat. The first word here is Diwani Vizarat, which is also known as Wazir. Okay, he's the in charge of revenue and finance. So Wazir जो होता है, वो this Wazir actually helps in revenue and finance. Then there is Divane Aris. Divane Aris. So you can write just Aris or Divane Aris. Divane Aris is the person who is in charge of army. A se Aris, A se army. A se Aris, A se army. So he is the in charge of army. Then there is a Divane Rasalat. Divane Rasalat. Diwani Rasalat. Diwani Rasalat is a foreign minister. Okay, so Rasalat was for religious mentor in matters in Delhi Sultanate. So you remember this word we have discussed in Delhi Sultanate also. Rasalat there was related to religious matters. Here Rasalat is foreign minister. So थोड़ा सा confusion create कर सकते हैं exam में. So this you have to remember. Then there is Divane Insha. Insha is for communication. So then Divane Insha is for communication. Why communication is very important in Sheshah's time? Because you know his administration is laid on the communication system, because you see the roads and all these he manufacture or he makes. All right, all these, his empire was laid on the basis of communication. The better administration is on the basis of the better communication. All right, so therefore he could rule, or he could take away the empire from the Mughal for a brief period of time and rule the entire North India because of fine communication network. Now there are administrative units and officials. Empire was divided into 47 sarkars. So empire is divided into various provinces. These are 47 sarkars, and sarkars are further divided into parganas. Okay, so you can in your white sheet you can write empire. Empire ko dash laga ke you can write sarkana, sarkars, and after sarkars you can put another dash and you can write parganas. Now in sarkar, who is the officer in charge of law and order is Shikdar. Chief Shikdar was the officer of law and order, and Munsif was a judge. So Munsif word जो है वो काफी दिन तक it became relevant in history. So the next words you have to write is Shikdar, Shikdar, and Munsif. Shikdar and Munsif. Then next set of words which you have to write is, in Pargana, for example, Shikdar was a military officer. Okay, and Amin was a land revenue officer. So you can write Amin, Amin. Amin was a land revenue officer, and Fotedar. Fotedar was a treasurer, or he was accountant. Okay, so sorry, Fotedar was a treasurer, and Karkuns were the accountants. So you can write Amin, you can write Fotedars, Fotedars. Fotedars are treasurers, and Karkuns are the accountants. There were also many administrative units called Iktas. So Iktas are the administrative units in uh, the Sur Empire. So you can write Iktas also. Iktas are administrative units here. In short, I've told you that Sarkar is divided into Parganas. Okay, so you have to remember Sikdar, you have to remember Munsif, you have to remember Amin, you have to remember Fotedars, Karkuns, and Iktas. All right. What is the land revenue administration like? It's very well organized. Land survey was carefully done. All cultivable lands were classified into three classes: good, middle, and bad. Peasants used to pay in cash or crop. So if they are paying in cash, the crop they are producing, they are paying to the ruler 1/3 of the produce. Sher Shah had introduced some revenue reforms which increased the revenue for the state. Okay, so he's also responsible for improving the revenue system. In fact, Sher Shah introduces certain new points. Now, this is important. So, I have given you the picture also. You should write in your white list. One is Dam. Dam. Okay. Dam. Dam is your silver coin and which remains in circulation till 1835. So, till 1835, this dam, which is introduced for the first time by Sher Shah, remains relevant. And then there is a gold coin, which is known as Moghur or Mohur. So, next word you have to write is Moghur or Mohur. These are gold coins. So, dam is a silver coin, and Moghur and Mohur are the golden coins. As I told you, the communication system is very important, and communication, for the good communication, you need good transport. So he lays four important highways. So Sonargaon to Sindh, Agra to Behrampur, and Jodhpur to Chittor, and Lahore to Multan. Okay, so these are the four highways which he uh, pays or which he builds. And now, what is important in these in these highways are the rest houses. Okay, so these rest houses are built on these highways so that the travelers can rest for some time because if the travel is long. Okay, so सराय जैसे होते हैं वैसे सराय खाना ये बनाते हैं. Then there is a police also, which is very efficient to control crime and order. There's a military administration also, efficiently reorganized, and branding of horses. Can you tell me who started the branding of horses in the medieval times? Early medieval times, there was one ruler who specially started the branding of horses. I know it's a few lectures back, but I will be very happy if you can answer me correctly. Very correct. Alauddin Khilji started the branding of horses. All right. Very nice. You people have answered. Some of you have answered. If you're not able to answer that, don't worry. You just need some revision. Then how do you estimate Sher Shah? Okay, now he is a pious Muslim. He's a religious tolerant. He employed the Hindus in important offices. He also patronized the learned men. For example, Malik Muhammad Jaisi, who wrote famous Hindi book known as Padmavat. We've already discussed, if you remember, about the Padmavat and Malik Muhammad Jaisi, isn't it? So please write Malik Muhammad Jaisi. Malik Muhammad Jaisi. Jaisi. Just write this. You should remember Padmavat. After Sher Shah's death in 1554, his successor Islam Shah Suri ruled till 1555, and it is in the time of Islam Shah Suri that Humayun conquers uh, this empire, this Sher Shah Suri's empire again, and re-established the Mughal Empire. Okay, so now I would also like to mention here, if we're going ahead, that last lectures and today's lectures text, the material, you would be getting it by today evening or by tomorrow early morning. All right, you will get it today's last lecture and today's lecture. यानी जो early medieval का portion था और जो आज का जो medieval India का portion कर रहे हैं वो हम लोग, you would get it by by today night or by tomorrow's morning. All right, now let's move ahead. Now let's discuss about Humayun. But before Humayun, let's quickly see the name white list. एक बार recall कर लेते हैं. Farid is the name of your Sher Shah Suri. Diwane Wizarat, Diwane Ariz, Diwane Rasalat, Diwane Communication, Diwane. Sorry, I wrote Diwane Communication, which is what? Diwane Insha, Diwane Insha. So Diwane Communication is actually Diwane Insha. So, can you just tell me out of Diwani Wizarat, Diwani Ariz, Diwani Rasalat, and Diwani Insha, what is related to army? What is related to army? Wizarat, Ariz, Rasalat, or Insha? Wizarat, Ariz, Rasalat, or Insha? What is related to army? Yes, so most of you have correctly told me Ariz. Ariz is because A say army, A say Ariz. Now, can you tell me whether true or false Rasalat is related to religious matters. Rasalat is related to religious matters. True or false? Rasalat is related to religious matters. True or false? Rasalat is related to religious matters. True or false? The correct answer is false because it is related to foreign matters. All right. It is in the Khilji dynasty or it is in the early medieval period that uh, Rasalat was related to religious matters. Okay, good. Now, uh, then can you tell me uh, what is Vizarat related to? What is Vizarat related to? What is Vizarat related to? Vizarat related to revenue and finance, finance minister. Okay, so Wazir is a finance minister. Okay, so good. Then you have written empire is divided into sarkars and parganas. You have also written the term shikdar, munsif, amin, potedars, and karkuns, iktas. Then you have written about dam and mogur or mohur. Now, can you tell me that which of these terms is related to a silver coin, dam or mohur? Amongst dam and between dam and mohur, which one is a silver coin? Yes, dam is a silver coin. Now let's quickly come to Humayun. Okay, now Humayun time period is 1555 to 1556. Humayun in 1540 married to Hamida Bano Begum. Hamida Bano Begum is uh, a very famous queen of Humayun, who's also a daughter of Persian Shia Maulvi Mir Baba. So Mir Baba is a Persian Shia Maulvi, and his daughter is your Hamida Bano Begum. All right. She gave birth to Akbar in 1542 in Hindu palace of Rana Virsala of Amarkot. Okay, it's a Hindu palace of Rana Virsala of Amarkot, and he sought help from Iran ruler and later defeated his brother Kamran and Ascani. So we were just discussing how his brothers were very troublesome for him. So he takes the help of the Iran ruler and defeats Kamran and Ascani. It is in 1555, students, that Humayun defeats the Afghans and recovered Mughal thrones. And after 6 months, he dies due to his fall from the staircase of library called Sher Mandal. So that is such a tragic life of this person. देखो बचपन में बहुत बीमार रहता था जिसकी वजह से his father always used to pray to the Lord Almighty to keep him well. Then he was such a simple person that he trusted his stepbrothers. His stepbrothers also kind of इनके पीठ पे छोरा चूरा घूपने का काम किया. Then he is the only ruler in the Mughal Empire जिसके toe terms है because Sher Shah defeats him. All right, in between, and therefore, so that troubles in life. And but he is such a nice human being. For example, the episode of Rakhi Ki Laaj, the things which he's done for his stepbrothers. All right, and in the end, so unfortunate, such a great ruler. He could have died in a battle, but how he falls from how he dies, he falls from the staircase of a library called Shermandal. Now, on the left hand side, there is a Humayun's tomb which is in Delhi, but on the right hand side, this is the library called Sher Mandal. Now, can you tell me where is this Sher Mandal located? Where is this Sher Mandal located in Delhi? It's in Delhi. It's a library in Delhi. It's not a library. It used to be a library of uh, Sher Shah, and it's in Delhi. Now, where is Sher Mandal located? Well, if would have known, you would have written it now. It is in Purana Killa. I would ask you that when your exams are over and when you have free time, do visit Purana Killa and Humayun's tomb. It's very close by. It's not very far. And you could also go to the zoo also, which is next to Purana Killa, and it's a beautiful landscape. It's a very naturally very beautiful place, your Purana Killa. Also, there are some light and sound shows in Purana Killa. Also, there is an Indraprasth excavation which is going on. Or maybe when I return to Delhi and everything is good and you people are there in Delhi, we can have a historical trip, of Delhi, which would be a very good experience. It would be a change. It would be a study also for you all. Of course, when you're going to face interview, they can ask you about your Delhi experience and they can talk to you about the monuments. So you should know about Delhi. So we can start from National Museum because that is a very important place of history, and then we can visit a lot of monuments. Okay, so or you can plan it by yourself, by your with your friends. That is a part of academics. That is a part of studies. All right. Now, Sher Mandal is in Purana Killa, as I have already told you. But what is the problem with Humayun is that he's not a good general and warrior, but was kind of very generous, which we have discussed. He was also learned and a student of mathematics, astronomy, and astrology. He also loved painting and wrote poetry in Persian language. So he doesn't have very good administrative and ruler like qualities, but humanly qualities, artistic qualities are immense. Okay, so but इसका मतलब ये भी नहीं है that he's a failed ruler. So do not write him like that in a bad light. Now I just want you to write a few names here. First is Hamida Banu Begum. Then you must write about Sher Mandal. Sher Mandal is another important monument, and rest is not that important. Now let's come to the one of the greatest ruler of Mughal, not only Mughal India, but if I would say Indian history, and he's the Akbar the Great. Okay, so of course there's an Akbar's painting, small picture on the left. Then you see there's so many movies and so many films and so many serials made on Jodha Akbar. So one of the most successful, I think the last successful film of Ashutosh Gowariker was Jodha Akbar. So we've discussed Ashutosh Gowariker so much in our history, isn't it? Because he makes historical films. And here again, we have Hrithik Roshan and the beautiful Aishwarya Rai. Okay, so Akbar or the Mughal Azam ki Akbar mein, of course, this actor Prithviraj Kapoor played the role of Akbar. Now that Akbar is still, an iconic role which anybody has yet to play. Now, Akbar's name is Jalaluddin Akbar. So most of the things you don't need to write in Akbar because you already know so much about Akbar. Jalaluddin means glory of faith. One of the greatest monarchs of India, and he succeeded the throne after his father Humayun's death. And Afghan's commander-in-chief, Hemu. Now here, this is an important name, so you must write it in your white list. Hemu. Hemu. Why is Hemu important in Akbar's time? Actually, he's an Afghan's commander-in-chief, and he seized the Delhi, and so Akbar's position was very dangerous. So he seizes Delhi, and Akbar's position was in danger. Now, here's an important battle which is fought is Second Battle of Panipat. All right, so Second Battle of Panipat. Second Battle of Panipat, which is fought between Akbar and Akbar and Hemu. Akbar and Hemu. So you have to write this. And this is a very important battle because almost Hemu was at the point of victory, but he loses. All right. Now, what happens is that, as many of you have already pointed, is that Hemu ke aankh mein there is a arrow which is stuck in his in which goes in his eyes, and that is actually people say is the reason for his defeat. So the arrow pierces in his eyes and he becomes unconscious. His army fled thinking that the king has died. Those who have seen the Jodha Akbar movie will remember the above scene, isn't it? The scene where Akbar, there's this in Hemu's eyes, this arrow goes. It's very much shown in Jodha Akbar movie. Behram Khan is an important character here. He acted as a Akbar's regent for first 5 years because Humayun dies and Akbar is a very young prince then, and when he ascends the throne, he needs a regent. So Behram Khan is an important name here. So you can write Behram Khan. Behram Khan is an important name here, and But after 5 years, Akbar removes him and he sends him to Makkah because of court intrigue. So what happened is that there's so much of interference of Bayram Khan in Akbar's time, Akbar's rule, that at one point of time, जब Akbar सयाना हो जाता है, when Akbar becomes very intelligent and all by himself and capable of taking his decisions, he feels that Bayram Khan should be removed. And in fact, it is said that when he was returning to Makkah, in the midway, Bayram Khan is killed. Okay, and his military conquests were extensive. His empire was extended from Agra to Gujarat in North India and from then Agra to Bengal. He strengthened the northwestern frontier. So this is an important aspect क्योंकि आप देखिए जितने भी attacks होते हैं वो northwestern frontiers पे से होते हैं. Now Akbar is the ruler who realizes that it is important to strengthen that area so that आगे चल के वहाँ से attack ना हो. नीचे I have given you a very important painting of from Akbar Nama. We are going to discuss Akbar Nama a little later from now. This is a very important painting from Akbar Nama where these paintings are done. Now, many of you must be having this question that these paintings and these drawings are done by the rulers themselves or by the writers themselves. No, it's not true. These paintings are not done by the writers themselves because there's a complete there are groups or there's an industry or there's a factory where these books are written. Okay, and there are these paintings made, which is known as karkhanas, where all these paintings and important illustrations are done. All right, so there are artists who sits with the text and draw these drawings. Okay, so it's not the writer, like for example बाबर ने अगर कुछ लिखा तो जो paintings हैं क्या बाबर ने बनाई या अकबर के समय में जिसने ये पेंटिंग बनाई, जिसने लिखा उसी ने क्या अकबर की पेंटिंग बनाई. No, it's not true. There are other sets of people who are employed in this task, and that is a very important aspect about the art and culture of Mughal period. Okay, there are other people, the other class of people who are employed in doing all these things. Now, this is the Mughal Empire during the Akbar's reign. So you see, if you see the South India wala part, the Deccan, say thoda side, those are the areas which are not part of Akbar's rule. But the entire North India, now you can see Kashmir, Bengal, everywhere, Gujarat, everything is covered by Akbar. All right, so this is the Akbar's reign. Now, what is the relation with Rajput? And in this aspect, Jodha becomes very important because Jodha is a very controversial character also because sometimes in history she is also seen as the queen of not Akbar but all Jahangir at times. Okay, so there are various interpretations, but the popular interpretation is, or popular known fact is that Jodha is the Rajput prince married to Akbar. So, and very beautifully played by Aishwarya Rai on the silver screen. So his Rajput policy of Akbar is very famous. All right, he kept a careful balance between defeating but not humiliating. So what he does, he defeats but he doesn't humiliate. Okay, तो ये सारी जो चीजें हैं ना, ये आगे चल के जो just war या जो आप लोग ने एथिक्स में पढ़ाया है मैंने आपको, या जो वियना कन्वेंशन, जेनेवा कन्वेंशन और वॉर और उसकी वॉर प्रैक्टिसेस से, these are precursors or these are early evidences of that he used to defeat the Rajput, but he used to not they should not have any grudge against them or any enmity against them. There was no humiliation. Okay, so what is happening that he's defeating the Rajputs, he's marrying their daughters. For example, Jodha, who is the daughter of Raja Bharmal, is married to Akbar. Now I want you to write the name Raja Bharmal because there are certain times of question they ask who of the following is contemporary to Akbar. So remember, Rana Sangha is not contemporary to Akbar, but Raja Bharmal is contemporary to Akbar because because he's the father of Jodha. After this point, history of Mughal has taken a different turn because when now you have matrimonial alliances, so now you're a family. So how does things change? Rajputs served Mughals for 4 decades, and Mughals had awarded them with military generals positions for their services. All right, this is how the changes is happening. So now they are becoming military generals in Mughals armies and Mughal governance and administration. Raja Bhagwan Das and Raja Man Singh were the best examples. So another set of Rajput rulers, you get the names of Raja Bhagwan Das, Raja Bhagwan Das, and Raja Man Singh. These are the other people whose names you are getting. Now, let us discuss about some of these Rajput areas. For example, Mewar. So Ranas of Mewar were hostile towards Mughals, and they think that it's better to die instead of accepting Mughal society. So it is the Mewar में पहले ये था that they did not want to surrender in front of Mughals, especially Akbar and other rulers, and they thought that it's better to die in the battle instead of surrender. Now here happens an important battle. This battle is known as Battle of Haldi Gati. So you have to write it in your white list. Battle of Haldi Gati. Remember, I have been discussing a lot of battles. Okay, because this empire, this entire medieval period it's all about battles, and it is through battles that the expansion of empires happen. So chronology of these battles. So you don't have to remember the date or the year. You have to remember which battle came after which battle and who are the two parties involved in these battles. For example, here in Battle of Haldigadi, you would see that Man Singh, who is a Rajput himself, he leads the Mughal army and he defeats Maharana Pratap. So if the question is that Battle of Haldigati is fought against whom? So if there are two options, Akbar and Maharana Pratap and Man Singh and Maharana Pratap, the most obvious answer is Man Singh and Maharana Pratap because it's Man Singh who actually defeats Maharana Pratap. The Mughal army is led by Man Singh here. Okay, then after the defeat of Mewar, most of the Rajput rulers accepted the Mughals' reign, Mughals' sovereignty, and this Rajput policy actually helped both Mughals and Rajputs. So this Rajput policy which Akbar is having, either through matrimonial alliances or then battles. Okay, now how is it helping both? First of all, they do not remain hostile amongst each other. Mughals are having the bravest warriors. Okay, now in the form of Rajputs, Rajputs were seen as the bravest and the strongest warriors of the Indian subcontinent. So now Mughals will help them. This has ensured peace in Rajasthan. So the continuous battles which were fought in the past and which could have been fought in the future now because of Akbar's successful Mughal policy, Rajput policy, can be ensured. The peace in Rajasthan is ensured. Now, this is a famous picture of the Haldi-Kati battle. Now, whenever this term Haldigati comes to your mind, you should remember it is Mewar, the kingdom of Mewar, the Ranas of Mewar, and the Mughal Empire. And in Mughal Empire, there is this Man Singh who is leading the army of the Mughal Empire. So if you see the centermost figure, so you see that both the people here fighting are Hindus. So there is a you see by the headgear, the headgears tell you a lot, so the Hindus fighting against the Hindus, so this is how this battle is, and it's a very famous battle, Haldi Galti ki ladai jo hai, that's a turning point in the Mughals reign. Okay, and Akbar kind of permanently establishes the Mughal empire here. All right, unlike Humayun, because Humayun's empire is very unsettled. We've seen Babur's empire is very unsettled, but Mughal's empire under Akbar becomes very settling from this battle onwards. Now, there is a lot of things which you should know about Akbar. For example, he's also very famous, if you all know about his religious policy. We all agree to it, isn't it? There are various factors which have shaped his religious policy. For example, his early contacts with Sufi saints. बचपन में अगर आप अच्छे गुरुओं के संगति में रहें, if you remain in the guidance of good teachers, you would always be ethical. अगर शुरू से ही लोग आपको लड़ाई झगड़ा कम्युनलिज्म और ये सारी चीजें पढ़ाए और मार धाड़ पढ़ाए और अशांति और लड़ाई झगड़ा पढ़ाए, तो you would not turn out to be that ethical and righteous person. So good teachers are very important. Well, you are in right company now, I think so. And so Akbar also, in that sense, he is in the very beginning in the contact of some very great Sufi saints. We've done Sufism earlier, so you would recall that also. And his own teacher is, or a tutor is a very important, plays a very important role in his life, which is known as Abdul Latif. Abdul Latif. Okay, so you can write the name Abdul Latif here. Abdul Latif, which is a very important name because uh, he is a teacher, so teacher's name is very important. And देन अगर शादी अच्छी हो जाए तो जीवन वैसे ही सार्थक हो जाता है. अच्छी शादी is a blessing, you know. So his marriage to Rajput women, to women like her, is definitely a blessing. So he's married to a Rajput women. Now this helps not only in his happy wedding, but also his happy empire, because of the peace established because of the alliances with the Rajputs. Please don't mind my silly joke. It's just in order to learn these facts. Then he has some intellectual giants in his court. For example, Sheikh Mubarak, okay, and his two illustrious sons, Abul Faizi and Abul Fazl. Now, Abul Fazl is talked a lot about. So I want you to write these three names together: Sheikh Mubarak, Sheikh Mubarak, then Abul Fazl and Abul Faizi. Okay, and his ambition was to establish an empire in Hindustan, an all India empire, or empire of Hindustan. What do we all know about his religious tolerance? So this is an important part of his religious policy, that is of religious tolerance. He initially is a very pious Muslim, okay, but when he marries Jodha, you must have seen Jodha Akbar ki jo film hai, and how this power of a strong woman kind of changed the mind of Akbar. You know, she brings Krishna with her, places Krishna in her tent, and you know all that beautiful scene when Akbar enters the tent and sees she's praying she's praying Krishna. So, anyways, under the influence of Jodha, he abolished a pilgrim tax called jizya. Now, Can you remember, or can you remind me who started the practice of jizya in Indian history? Who starts the practice of jizya? We have done it in the past. जिन्होंने याद है वो जरूर आंसर लिखें. Here, Akbar is abolishing the pilgrimage tax jizya. Please look at the past lectures to know about jizya more. We've already discussed in brief as much as required. All right. So the students who are not remembering it, I want you to go back to that lecture. Now, he in 1575 constructs Ibadat Khana at Fatehpur Sikri. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Ibadat Khana kya hai? That we will see through a picture. In the next slide, I'll show you a picture of Ibadat Khana at Fatehpur Sikri. Now, you can write Ibadat Khana. You can write Ibadat Khana. You can write Ibadat Khana in your white list. Now, importance of Akbar's religious policy is that he started discussion on religion in the Ibadat Khana with ulema, Brahmins, Jesuit priests, Roman Catholics, Zoroastrians, with so many people of different religion. So Ibadat Khana, Ibadat मतलब it's related to Ibadat क्या होता है? Religion में pray करना, ये इससे है ना? तो इसी से आप ध्यान में रखिए कि इबादत खाना क्या क्या मतलब होगा. Alright, where it shows it's a symbol of his religious tolerance. Okay. Now, these discussions took place in a place known as Ibadat Khana. He was interested in the religion and social customs of different people. It made him realize that religious scholars who emphasized ritual and dogma were often bigots. Their teachings created divisions and disharmony amongst his subjects. So what he did in Ibadat Khana, he brought priests and all these intellectuals from different religion, brought them together. And while discussion, he realized that ये सारे जो है ना, ये लफंडर लोग हैं. What they are doing is that they're only creating problems for the society, division and disharmony. And then because of his discussions in Ibadat Khana and his realization of the fact that these religions are creating divisions and disharmony, he started, or it gave rise to an idea which is known as Sule Kul. Sule Kul is universal peace. Please write, very important term, very important term. Sule Kul, which is universal peace. It's an idea which is related to universal peace. Okay, now this idea, an idea can change your life, isn't it? This idea of Sulekul is going to change Akbar's life and the reign of Akbar or the Mughal times. For example, what does this Sulekul means actually? It's an idea of tolerance, which does not discriminate between people of different religions in his realm. So it's not basically a religion; it's an idea. Okay, it's an idea which does not changes, which does not discriminates between different religions in his realm. Instead, it focuses on a system of ethics, honesty, justice, peace. So all those people who are very well prepared with their ethics can also take this as an example whenever there is a question on religious disharmony. All right, and how a leader should act. He used to call people from all the places, ask all the religions, ask them to sit in Ibadat Khana, discuss, and then he used to realize what is the problem. And then he used to come out with a solution. And that solution was Sulekul. In fact, Abul Fazl, who is his friend and autobiographer, we just mentioned his name, he is the one who helps Akbar in framing a vision of governance around the idea of Sulekul. So now you see Akbar is becoming so liberal. All right, we see the liberal phase of Akbar. All right, and so it all actually began after Shadi. Shadi is very important with the right person, and it is changing his view. He started discussing about various religions. He wanted an insight. Ibadat Khana. Ibadat Khana then took shape into Sulekul, and then Sulekul, through Sulekul, with the help of Abul Fazl, he is trying to write a new history of governance in his time period. This principle of governance was followed by Jahangir and Shah Jahan. So Jahangir and Shah Jahan also, like good sons, follow that follows uh, the idea of Sulekul in their times. Also, this governance, which is universally applicable, the ethical governance of honesty, justice, and peace. Then he starts a new religion, which is introduced, known as Deen Ilahi. So the next word you have to write is Deen Ilahi. Deen Ilahi. Deen Ilahi is divine faith. So remember, Deen Ilahi is a religion. Sulekul is a system. Okay, so Deen Ilahi is a religion, and Sulekul is a system or an idea. This is divine faith. It believes in one God. All right, एक ही God है, एक परमात्मा. It contains good points of all religions. Okay, so it's a beautiful religion which has all the good points. Okay, of all the religions, like rationality, no dogma, okay, no superstition, all these kind of things. It aimed at bringing the gulf that separated the different religions. So जो भी gulf जो create हो रहा है different religion में, उसको जो है कम करने में दीन इलाही जो है उसका role बहुत ही important है. It wasn't adopted by people and fizzled out after Akbar's death. Akbar did not compel anyone to his new. All right. So what happens is that why does it fizzle out? Because he doesn't make Deen Ilahi as the norm. He doesn't make it as a state religion. All right. So it wasn't adopted by a lot of people as part of a compulsion. It was fizzled out after Akbar's death, and it is because Akbar has not made it as compulsion to follow any religion. So all the leaders of the time of today's time should understand that you cannot force a religion or religious ideology on somebody, even if that religion is not going to survive after you. You have to give them the liberty to choose their ideas and faith. All right. So it doesn't matter even if Deen Ilahi faded after Akbar's death. But the idea of Sulekul remained at least till Shah Jahan. Okay, so this is a beautiful painting where this is an Ibadat Khana. All right, this will help you in reminding you. See, what is happening, if you take a very closer look here, is that there are these people from different religion. You can see by their costumes also, these people are of different religion. They're sitting with Akbar and they are discussing among themselves and with Akbar about various religion. All right, and Akbar is just listening and he's a part of the conversation. नीचे देखो, नीचे जो commoners हैं, you can see the commoners with the horses. These are people who are who are who are conscious about the Ibadat Khana, who are conscious about the discussion which is taking place, who knows that their ruler is a very tolerant ruler who is organizing such kind of assembly. This is going to give a good impact on the common people about Akbar. All right, and that is why he became so popular amongst the masses. All right, now the other thing which you have to remember here when you see these pictures is that a small kind of words which are written at the top. Okay, so there are strips. So as I told you that these are not just paintings, it also mentioned ये painting किस चीज के बारे में. जैसे मैंने right hand पे यहाँ पे English में लिख रखा है, writers make sure that these writings are there. And also you see that the pictures are not just pre-drawn pictures, there are borders in these pictures. So bordering of pictures are also one important aspect of these Mughal paintings. Another important part of Akbar's time is administration, very able administration. In fact, his main source of income is the tax which is he gets from the peasantry, the land revenue administration system. Now, here are some very important terms which you have to remember. Akbar made some experiments in the land revenue administration with the help of Raja Todar Mal, which is who is his revenue minister. So please write this name, Raja Todar Mal. In fact, जो आगे हम नाम पढ़ने वर्ड्स पढ़ने वाले हैं related to revenue administration, उसका credit is not as much to Akbar but to Raja Todar. Okay, and Akbar gives the credit so much to them. So the land revenue system of Akbar was called Zabti or Bandobast system. Okay, so I want you to just write this, the land revenue system, जिसको कहते हैं बंदोबस्त, put a slash or and write Zabti. Bandobast or Zabti system. What is Bandobast or Zabti system? Nothing. You have to know. Don't go in detail. It's a land revenue system of Akbar's time, and the person who is actually, related to is Todarmal. See, in the next line I have written that it is improved by Todarmal, and when he improves it, it is known as Dehshala system. Okay, so it is Bandobast or Zabti is known as Dehshala system by of Todarmal. The Shala system of Total. All right. Total Mud carried out a very careful survey of crop yields, prices, and areas cultivated for a 10-year period of 1870 to 1850, 1580, 1570 to 1580. On the basis of this data, tax was fixed on each crop in cash. Each province was divided into revenue circles and its own schedule of revenue rates for individual crops. This revenue system was known as Zabt or Zapti or Bandobast. So what is this system? So what happens is that a data is collected, जैसे census होता है या survey होता है, उसके through you do a survey, careful survey for a 10-year period of time. You do a survey of crop yields, area wise, prices wise, everywhere. Then according to that survey, you fix the tax on each crop. So कैसे करेंगे कि हर province को, every province is divided into revenue circles. Okay, every province is divided into different revenue circles. Okay, on basis of different crops. ठीक है, और हर revenue circle का एक अलग revenue. ठीक है, this system is called SUP. Nothing you have to remember. You have to remember that there is a 10-year period का survey on various crops, prices, and the areas. And according to that survey, the province is divided into various revenue circles. And this revenue system is known as SUP. Nothing else. Okay. Now, by this system, Todarmal introduced a uniform system of land measurement. So, in the Mughal period, he introduces a uniform system of land measurement. Okay, land was also divided into 4 categories. Okay, now these are the important terms which you must write. One is polage. Polage is cultivated every year. The land which is cultivated every year is known as polage. You must write polage. Then is paroti. Then is paroti. Paroti is once in 2 years. Then is chachar. Chachar. Chachar is once in 3 years or 4 years. And then is banjar. Once in 5 years. So on the basis of the cultivation, these are so once every year polage, paroti every 2 years it is cultivated, chachar every 3 or 4 years, and banjar every 5 years or more. Payment of revenue was made generally in cash, but in crops also it was allowed. So revenue जो आप देंगे वो either through cash or crops, anything which is convenient to the farmers. Now let's come to the other ruler, which is Jahangir. Okay, Now, Jahangir, or is known as Prince Salim, succeeded father Akbar after his death in 1605. He adopted the title Jahangir, which means conqueror of the world. Now, remember, you know, they might be silly questions, but then every ruler has a name जिसका कोई मतलब है. For example, जहांगीर का मतलब है conqueror of the world. इसी की तरह अकबर का हमने भी देखा था. अकबर के नाम का कुछ मतलब था, if I'm not wrong. जलालुद्दीन का मतलब था ग्लोरी ऑफ फेथ. ऑलराइट, ग्लोरी ऑफ फेथ. एंड इसी तरह हुमायूं का जो नाम था, उसका एक मतलब था. हुमायूं के नाम का मतलब था, I'm sorry if I'm not remembering properly. Humayun's name's meaning was fortune. Okay, and he was one of the most unfortunate ruler. Okay, that is what it is said about him. So good that you all people remember that. Nice. So every emperor has a particular name पे बहुत importance है ना. छगन लाल मगन लाल ऐसे करके नाम नहीं रख देते थे. ठीक है, नाम का एक मतलब है, बहुत डीप मतलब है. ठीक है. So coming to Jahangir now. Yes. So he's the conqueror of the world. That is what his name is. His reign witnessed series of rebellions. His elder son Khusro revolted but was defeated and imprisoned. So he faced a revolution, or he faced a revolt from his own son Khusro, and he was defeated by and imprisoned. One of Khusro's supporter, whose name is Guru Arjan. Okay, Guru Arjan, who is the fifth Sikh Guru, has been executed in 1606. Okay, so you just write in your white sheet of paper, Khusro, Khusro, Khusro के बाद dash लगा के just write Guru Arjan and Khusro, but nothing else. So you should remember that Guru Arjan is contemporary to whom? He is contemporary to Jahangir. This can be the question which can be asked. The Mughal Emperor Jahangir looked upon Sikhs as potential threats. So right from the Jahangir's time, Sikhs are supposed to be seen as threats. और अगर जिन्होंने modern India पढ़ा है, जब मैंने decline पढ़ाया था, so I have shown you how later till Ranjit Singh this threat continued, isn't it? So this is how Guru Arjan is related to Jahangir. Then there's an important princess named as Noor Jahan. Okay, we've discussed about the princes like the queens like uh, Razia Sultana. Now we are discussing about the princess, very important queen Noor Jahan. So much of impact of life of women in the life of Mughal emperors, isn't it? For example, Noor Jahan, whose actual name was Merunisa, she married to Emperor Jahangir in 1611, and after the marriage, she received the title Noor Jahan, which is definitely title of light of the world. I have shown you the picture of Noor Jahan. These are not original pictures, but this is these are the writers or painters' imagination. Okay, uh, his father was Imaduddaulah, and who was a respected person. He was a chief diwan. Other members of Noor Jahan family were also given various posts. Shah Jahan married to his cousin. So Shah Jahan actually marries to Noor Jahan's cousin, daughter of his mother's brother Asaf Khan. So एक तरह से शाहजहां ने अपनी बहन से शादी कर ली. Okay, so Shah Jahan marries to his cousin, daughter of his mother's brother Asaf Khan. Now, I would like to show you some pictures. Now, why these pictures are important? Because in your prelims, I think last year also this question came. Who started the image of self-portrait and all these things used to come. Now, you see, this is the picture of Jahangir on your left-hand side. This one picture gives us an information about two rulers, about many things. First, Jahangir, and then he is looking at the portrait of Akbar. So Jahangir is looking at the portrait of Akbar. So both the pictures are there. All right, the self-portrait thing became very important in Jahangir's time. Now the other important part of this picture is the halo. If you see the halo, the sun or the halo which is appearing, which you see in the drawings and paintings of the West, and also in some of the Indian paintings, Mughal paintings. You see, modern art also. You see Buddha art. You see these halo thing which appear. So this is a invention in Mughal artists. Also, this is not an invention. This is also a borrowed aspect of the Mughal paintings also. Then you also make sure that in this very picture, which is at the left, where there is Jahangir also and Akbar also, there is a globe in the hand of Akbar. Now, this is a very important character. God knows for what reason. Maybe for reason of for the convenience of the artist, because through this globe he wants to adjust the size. Okay, sometimes you hold the globe and जो होता है ना कि मॉडल्स वगैरह को आप देखते नहीं हो कि कुछ चीज पकड़ा के और फिर पेंटिंग करते हैं. All right, so that your size and your all these kind of things can be the proportion of the picture can be well adjusted with that thing. Or there may be other reason also which I am not very much aware of. But this is what I mean to say, that this aspect of holding a globe becomes very important in the pictures of Jahangir and his time. So this is an important picture and very eye-catchy picture. And in fact, this is one of the pictures जिस पे UPSC का question based हो चुका है. Then on your right hand side, ऊपर देखिए Jahangir है. Again, he's holding the globe. Below is the picture of Noor Jahan. All right, Noor Jahan is in the picture, and this is the contemporary pictures. All right, these are the contemporary pictures of those times, where she is holding none other than Jahangir. Now, what makes me a little what makes me funnier कि यहाँ पे जहांगीर की मूछ है, मुस्टैश यहाँ पे भी है. But there is no mustache here. Maybe Noor Jahan doesn't like mustache. Some girls do not like mustache. Some like. So, well, these people used to dress up and everything to maybe they were so much under influence of their wives, which is also not bad. It is right. So, but anyways, now you see these pictures, you understand it. There can be a question that किसके reign में आप देखते हैं, there is an emperor looking at the picture of another emperor, or there are two two pictures in one picture. So there's a picture of Noor Jahan and there is a picture of, so not only a self-portrait, but also a system of holding a picture of somebody else is also very relevant. And these are very fascinating pictures. Maybe my words are not doing justice to the description and the beauty of these pictures and the imagination and the brilliance of these pictures, but I hope you get my point. Let's talk about Janta or Shah and Shah Jahan's rebel. Now, what happens is that it is believed by some of the historians that Noor Jahan formed a group of Janta. Now, please write this term in your book, in your white list, Janta. Now, when you come across this word Janta, what should strike to you is Noor Jahan. So, Janta, and this led to two factions in the Mughal court. So, she forms a group called Janta. Now, Shah Jahan thought that his father is completely under the influence of Noor Jahan, and so he rebelled against his father in 1622. So, what happens is that Shah Jahan feels that it is under Noor Jahan that Jahangir is spoiling his entire empire and career, maybe because he was not seeing his prospects so bright because of Noor Jahan. So he rebels against Shah Jahan. But actually, she was just taking important political decisions when Jahangir was ill. So when Jahangir used to fall ill or was ill, Noor Jahan was helping Jahangir to take some important decisions. Noor Jahan remained extremely loyal and supportive to the monarch. All right, this is what is said by some of the historians. Now, on the right hand side, you could see a kind of an order. This is an order or a farman. And this is an order and farman not by an emperor, by the empress. Her name is Noor Jahan. And this is how she, this is a original order where it states, there's a square seal which states that commander of the most sublime and elegant majesty Noor Jahan Padshah Begum. So you see, she's taking decisions when Jahangir is ill, but she's taking decisions in her own name. All right, that is why maybe Shah Jahan is so sad. All right, so angry that okay, ठीक है, Jahangir के नाम पे decision लीजिए, but she is taking the decision. Her name is evident there, though she mentioned Jahangir later on. The round seal states, by the son of Shah Jahan, she became a brilliant as the moon. May Noor Jahan Badshah be the lady of the age. So Noor Jahan Badshah, okay, Noor Jahan Badshah hai, lady of the age. So she said कि वो सूर्य की प्रताप, शाहजहां के प्रताप की वजह से एक चांद सा एक लेडी बादशाह है नूर जहां. As a mark of honor, Jahangir struck silver coin bearing his own titles on one side, and on the other side inscription struck in the name of Queen Begum Noor Jahan. so much is the influence of uh, Noor Jahan that Noor Jahan is also being seen in the coins, okay, of Jahangir. She was a constant companion of Jahangir even when he went on hunting. So there are various paintings which I wanted to show, but with the lack of time, I'm not able to show it. And this whole lecture can be done with the help of paintings, especially when I talk about Jahangir and Shah Jahan, because especially Jahangir, because Shah Jahan is more about architecture. So Jahangir can be his life and his history can be taught to the through paintings. And some of you who have done masters in history or who are planning to do masters in history, when you study art history, there they teach a lot about these things. Even in fact, in the medieval realm, so it becomes important there. Now, there's a rise of Shah Jahan. Of course, the rise can be seen soon as he started rebelling. Now, the rise of Shah Jahan was due to his personal ambition. He rose in revolt against his father, who ordered him to go to Kandahar. Okay, this rebellion distracted the activities of the empire for 4 years. So what happens is that Jahangir sends Shah Jahan to Kandahar, and therefore he kinds of gets separates from the main things which are happening in the middle of the empire, in the center, on the center stage. Now, when Jahangir dies, Shah Jahan reaches Agra with the support of the nobles and the army. Noor Jahan was given a pension and lived in a retired life till her death in 18 till 18 years later. Her after she dies after that, and she lives in a very exiled life. All right. So now that's how Shah Jahan comes to power, and in fact, Shah Jahan actually comes to power with the help of the nobles and the army. Now, what is in the realm of Shah Jahan? 1627 to 1658. Shah Jahan recovered Kandahar and other ancestral lands. As said earlier, he was very ambitious, but this ambition had to pay price by losing lives of soldiers. So, great ambitious ruler, very ambitious, but he had to lose a lot of soldiers in his expeditions. He realized that the futility of his ambition and stopped fighting. Later on, when he realizes that इतना लड़ झगड़ के मार धाड़ करके कोई फायदा नहीं है, so he became Ashoka in a way, isn't it? And he realized that there is no there's nothing good in fighting so much war, and they're defeating so many people in losing so many people's life, that he leaves war. Now on the left hand side, I just was thinking कि शाहजहां की फोटो लगाऊं, बट अकेले शाहजहां की फोटो उतनी अच्छी लगती नहीं है, because of again the great love. He is actually the first, you know, passionate hero of Indian subcontinent, who builds a Taj Mahal, who builds such a beautiful monument for his wife. So Mumtaz Mahal and Shah Jahan together. Now these are this left hand, right hand is this original picture of the tombs of graves of the and the tombs grave of the these two people, which you do not. I'm not sure. When you go to Taj Mahal now, you sometimes do not get access. I don't think people are able to see this. This is the original picture of Shah Jahan and Shah Jahan and Mumtaz. Now, Deccan policy in this period is very important. Okay, so you can just write Deccan policy. You can just write Deccan policy in your white list. Now, there's a defeat of the Ahmednagar area, and he annexes it. So Shah Jahan defeats the forces of Ahmednagar and annexes it. Then Bijapur and Golconda signed a treaty with the empire. So you should remember which two empires signs a treaty, Bijapur and Golconda, and which empire is defeated is Ahmednagar. Okay, Shah Jahan carved 4 Mughal provinces in the Deccan: Khandesh, Berar, Telangana, and Daulatabad. They were put under the control of his son Aurangzeb. This is important. Shah Jahan carves 4 Deccan states: Khandesh, Berar, Telangana, and Daulatabad. Okay, so I just want you to write, first of all, Deccan policy mein only you can put a dash and write Ahmednagar, Bijapur. You remember we have discussed, we have mentioned all these states earlier also. And then you can write in your next line, you can write these 4 words together: Khandesh, Berar, chota chota karke likho, no need to write in elaborate form, Telangana, and Daulatabad. Bath. All right. Now, what is a war of succession? So, what happens is that after Shah Jahan, Shah Jahan's amongst the Shah Jahan's son, there is a war of succession. ये कौन ये empire lead करेगा? So there are battles which are fought. So what happens in these war of succession? Let us understand. The Mughals did not believe in the role of primogeniture, where the eldest son inherits his father's estate. So ये primogeniture वाला जो system है, उसमें Mughals are not believing that the eldest son would only get the estate. Instead, they followed the Mughal and Timurid custom of copper currency inheritance, or a division of the inheritance among all the sons. So, what did they believe? That jitna bhi inheritance hai, it should be equally divided amongst the sons. Now, in the last years of Shah Jahan's reign, there were a lot of bitter war of succession among four sons. Who are these four sons? Dara Shikoh, Shuja, Aurangzeb, and Murad Baksh. Dara Shikoh was actually the crown prince, that after Shah Jahan, Dara Shikoh will succeed. Shuja was the governor of Bengal. Aurangzeb, we have seen, was the governor of Deccan. And Murad Baksh was the governor of Malwa and Gujarat. Now, I want you to just write these four names. Nothing else. Don't write their area of influence. Just write Dara Shikoh. In fact, Dara Shikoh is also one of the favorite sons, because in most of the paintings or illustrations, you find Dara Shikoh with Shah Jahan more. Okay, then Dara Shikoh, Shuja, then you have Aurangzeb, and then you have Murad Baksh. Just these four names. Abhi, for the time being, you don't write the region. Towards the end of 1657, Shah Jahan fell ill at Delhi for some time, but later he recovered. Aurangzeb thought that his elder brother Dara is lying to him while his father has already passed. So he made alliance with one of his brothers. Later, when he came near to Agra, he betrayed his brother. So this is what he is doing. Okay, so he is actually fighting against Dara. He's making an alliance with another brother. Then he's betraying his brother only. Aurangzeb emerged victorious in this struggle. He surrounded Agra and later entered into the fort, killed Dara, and forced Shah Jahan to surrender. Okay, so this is the sad history of Mughal. Shah Jahan was confined to the female apartment in the Agra fort and strictly put under vigil. But he was not ill-treated. This is what history tells us, that usko confined to kar diya gaya tha jail mein, but he was not ill-treated. In fact, you know that story where he wanted a place where he could see Taj Mahal. He wanted two, three things which were important for us. He wanted to lead a very simple life. So he said that he wanted two, three things. Okay, so all these things he did. So there are a lot of stories and there are a lot of folklores around this. So which is not a part of history so much. So I'm not going into that detail. Shah Jahan lived for 8 long years, lovingly nursed by his daughter Jahanara. Jahanara actually took care of Shah Jahan. And he died in 1666 and buried beside his wife's grave in the Taj Mahal. So this was the grave we were talking about. So united after the death in this way. Now, this is the miniature painting which is drawn, where you see that Shah Jahan is accompanied by Dara Shikoh, Shah Shuja, and Aurangzeb. Okay, Dara Shikoh, Shah Shuja, and Aurangzeb. Can you remember which of the son is not mentioned here? Who is missing? Who is missing? Dara Shikoh is there. He's the crown prince. Shah Jahan is there. Shah Shuja is there, and Aurangzeb is there. Okay, and they are actually meeting. बच्चों के नाना जी से ये लोग मिलने गए हैं, मिल रहे हैं. बच्चों के नाना जी जो हैं, उनका नाम है, बच्चों के नाना जी, उनका नाम है आसफ खान फोक. So they are meeting with the maternal grandfather, Asaf Khan Fook. So this is a very important painting. And as you all mentioned, that Murad Baksh is not in this painting, others are there. So these paintings only help us to understand history, to know about it, all right, and to keep things in our minds. Obviously, अभी यूपीएससी इतना एडवांस नहीं हो गया कि पेंटिंग लगा के और पूछेगी ये किसकी पेंटिंग है, वो that would be too much also. So that is not there. But this makes the topic a little interesting when you go through these lectures. Okay, so this is more about the history of Mughal Empire. But let us understand what was Mughal Empire, what was India under this Mughal rule, how was India under the Mughal rule. Okay, before going to that, let's just look at the terms which we have missed. So हुमायूं से अगर हम बात करें, so second battle of sorry अकबर से अगर हम बात करना शुरू करें, so we know that the first term which we have written is the second battle of Panipat, written and can you just tell me between whom the battle of Panipat, second battle of Panipat is fought quickly? Second battle of Panipat is fought between whom? Okay, the next name we have written also of Bairam Khan, who is the regent. Then we have written Raja Bharmal, Raja Bhagwan Das, Raja Mansingh. All right, Raja Mansingh. Okay, most of you have correct given me correct answer, Akbar and Hemu. Then we have written an important battle which is known as Battle of Haldighati. Now you have to tell me who represented Mughals. Who represented Mughals in the Battle of Haldighati? Quickly. Who represented Mughals in the Battle of Haldighati? Yes, so most of you have correctly answered Man Singh. And who was the opponent? Who was the opponent? Who was the opponent in this your Haldighati battle? महाराणा प्रताप. Good. So you've written Maharana Pratap, you've written Sheikh Mubarak, जिनके दो बेटे हैं, Abul Fazl, Abul Faizi. Then we have mentioned Jazia. He's Akbar is the one who abolishes Jazia. Ibadat Khana. We have mentioned Sulekul. We have mentioned Din Ilahi. I'm not asking anything about these because these are very famous. Then we have discussed Raja Todarmal. Okay, Raja Todarmal. We have discussed Bandobas, Zapti, the Shala system. We have discussed Polaj, Paroti, Chachar, Banjar. Now, can you tell me out of Polaj, Paroti, Chachar, Banjar, which is the land where cultivation is done every year? Every year cultivation जहाँ पे होता है उसका नाम बताइए. Among Polaj, Paroti, Chachar, Banjar, it is Polaj. Good, good. Then we came to the name Khusro. Okay, oh, and we came to know the relation with Guru Arjan. Then we talked about Janta. So Janta is related to which emperor or empress? Janta शब्द जो है वो किस emperor या empress से related है? Quickly, Noor Jahan. Okay. Then we talked about Deccan policy, Ahmednagar, Bijapur, and Golconda. Ahmednagar, Bijapur, and Golconda. Then we talked about the Deccan kingdoms of Khandesh, Berar, Telangana, and Daulatabad. Now you have to tell me, Khandesh, Berar, Telangana, and Daulatabad was under the governorship of which Mughal prince? Which Mughal prince did Shah Jahan give these four places to? It is Aurangzeb. Then we talked about Dara Shikoh, who was the crown prince, Shuja, Aurangzeb, and Murad Baksh. Okay, so we discussed about all these people. Now, quickly, so your white list is almost maintained till now. Now, let's talk about India under the Mughals. So, there are many Europeans which has traveled to India and they have given an account of economic and social life of the Mughals. In fact, they describe how wealthy India was, but only as a part of population, like nobles of courts were wealthy, they lived luxurious life. So they are whenever they are describing about the wealth of India, they are discussing in the terms of nobility, okay, court life. So only a section of population is being covered while the peasants and ordinary people were handed hand to mouth because of excess burden of taxes. So they highlight that the luxurious life, that is limited to the nobility or it is limited to the people of the court, kings and queens. But most of the people of the Mughal under the Mughal Empire are under the burden of great taxes. This is what they say. So let us discuss about Mughal nobility. They were privileged class in the Mughal period. Nobles, nobles, these are the most important people. So Mughal nobility. All right. Like Delhi Sultanate, here also most for foreigners like Turks, Afghans, and they had conflicts. Okay, so Delhi Sultanate की तरह यहाँ पे भी foreigners थे. Most settled here and more made India their permanent home. Some of the nobles who came India make them their home. They assimilated themselves into Indian society and culture, but kept their personal traits like Rajputs and Maratha remained in the noble class. So this is important. That is why when people say that Mughals are outsiders, they are foreigners. No, outsiders were Britishers. हमारे देश का वो होता है जो हमारे देश की संस्कृति उसकी सभ्यता उसको अपना पार्ट बना लेता है. Okay, the people who any person coming from any part of the world who feels belongingness towards our motherland, okay, that person is not a foreigner, that is a very much part of our country. Okay, and our history says like that. Our history, our culture talks about it. So Mughals in that sense, they are assimilated in the Indian society, and Rajputs and Marathas remain the noble class under Mughals. Nobles were paid high, but their expenses were also high. Okay, and therefore the burden of taxes came over the poor. Some expenses like paying soldiers, cavalrymen, maintenance of elephants, etc., were part of their duty, while other expenses like wearing like fine clothes and costly jewelries, eating imported fruits, were their personal expenses, which were because they tried to imitate emperor's luxurious life. So you know what is happening कि एक तो आपको salary मिलती है, ऊपर से आपकी ऊपरी खर्चे. Okay, so they wanted to be like the king or like the emperor. So the noble also wanted to be like the emperor. So they wanted, in order to be like the emperor, they wanted to imbibe their imitate their luxurious lifestyle. So uski wajah se they had a very expensive lifestyle. Now what about the rural masses? While the wealthy people were wearing silk and cotton clothes, people of the poor people had minimum clothes. They suffer from insufficient clothing even during the winter. So आपको वो पिक्चर याद है जहां पे इबादत खाना में अकबर बात कर रहा है और रिलीजियस लीडर्स से, एंड नीचे मैंने एक स्ट्रीम दिखाई थी, एक नीचे कॉमनर्स दिखाए थे, उसमें पीपल आर नॉट वेयरिंग क्लोथ्स और वेयरिंग वेरी मिनिमम क्लोथ्स. ओके, सो दैट kind of shows the differences. In fact, there's a very important Russian merchant known as Nikitin. He observed that people of Deccan were barefooted. High cost of leather might be the reason for they can't afford. So they said that जो Deccan में लोग थे, they were barefooted, and high cost of leather might be the reason they can't afford. Now, what they were eating: rice, millets, and pulses. These were the staple food. Fish was also very popular. While ghee and oil were cheaper, salt and sugar were more expensive. Milk and milk products were available in plenty, as plenty of cattle were kept by the rural people. So हमारा देश में milk का तो आपको पता ही है, इतना उत्पादन है, so much of production of milk and milk products. So milk products, white ghee, everything is all there. Now, I want you to write this name Nikitin. Okay, Nikitin. It's not a very important name, but I just want to, since we are writing every minor thing, so you should write Nikitin's name. Now let's talk about the agriculture here. Now, agriculture during this period was very prosperous due to plenty of land, natural methods of cultivation, and fertile area. There's no doubt in it. There were a variety of crops like rice, wheat, gram, barley, pulses. Everything was cultivated. There are commercial crops also, like cotton is there, sugarcane is there, indigo is there, oil seed is there. In fact, in 17th century, there were new crops like tobacco and maize. In 18th century, there were new crops like potato and red chilies. Now, see, so when you, I'm not sure if you have, we've mentioned this in our previous slides, but these are the crops: tobacco, maize, potato, and rice chilies. These are not the, especially when I talk about potato, is not a crop of our country. Okay, it has been, it is an exported crop. Okay, this is not indigenous crop. So there were new crops in 17th century: tobacco, maize. In 18th century, potato, rice, chilies. There is no new agricultural technique, and Indian exported food crops like rice and sugar because of surplus of production. There's a surplus of production of rice and sugar, and that is what India is exporting. Then another important aspect is trade. There are now large number of trading communities with specialization, well organized and highly professional. For example, Seth and Bohra traders. Okay, so I just want you to write Seth and Bohra in your white sheet. Seth and Bohra. These are specialized in long distance trades. Then there is Banik. Banik is a local trader and today known as Bania in Rajasthan. Then you have Banjara. So just keep writing Bania or Banik, right? Banik and Banjaras. Now, Banjaras are specialized in carrying bulk goods. They move to long distance with their goods at the back of the oxen. So Banjara, you know, the vagabonds. All right. Bulk goods were also taken to rivers and boats on boats. It wasn't necessary that trading community was belonging to one caste or religion. Okay, ऐसा नहीं है कि जैसे वैश्य community थी, ठीक है, which was linked to trade. It is not here, all right. In here, it is not that कि एक religion और एक caste जो है वही एक trading से related हो. North India में you find Gujarati merchants included. Hindu, and Gujarati merchant comprises of Hindu, Jains, and Muslim. In Rajasthan, you find Oswals. You know, Oswals are very famous for their, these clothes. Oswal industry है पूरी cloth की आजकल, isn't it? So the Oswals in Rajasthan, Maheshwaris, Agarwals, you know that, came to be called as Marwadis. So Marwadis is the term which you have to write. Marwadis. Multanis, Khataris, Afghanis, these all conducted trade with Central Asia. So these people are conducting trade with Central Asia. What is happening in South India? There are Chettis, very important, Chettis. Just write Chettis on the Coromandel coast, and very important, Muslim merchants of Malabar. So Chettis, Muslim merchants. So on the Coromandel coast, you find Chettis, and on the Malabar coast, there are Muslim merchants. Okay, Muslim merchants of Malabar coast. Okay, these are important trading communities you find in this area. Now, what are the exports in trade? From Bengal, we export sugar, rice, delicate muslin and silk. Even today, like there are a lot of things which get exported from Bengal, which consist of these things. Coromandel Coast, Center for Textile Production. Now, can you tell me the community which is associated to Coromandel Coast? Quickly, Coromandel Coast से कौन सी community related है? अभी पढ़ा है, next पिछले slide में पढ़ा है Chetty or Chetty. Good. So Gujarat, there's an entry point of foreign goods. Okay, indigo and foreign grains were exported from North India to Gujarat. There's exports of Kashmir shawls and carpets via Gujarat. Surat is an important place, a gateway for trade with West Asia and emporium of Western trade. Also called Gate of Makkah because many pilgrim ships sail from here. Now, I want you to not write Surat. I want you to write Gate of Makkah. I want you to write Gateway of Makkah or Gate of Makkah. And with this, Surat or Gujarat should come to your mind. In 17th century, factories of major European companies were established. So by 17th century, there are major European companies being established. I am not dealing with this part because European penetration, we've discussed it in modern India, or those who have not discussed, whoever teaches you modern India would definitely discuss these things. Textile of Surat becomes very important for their gold lace border. So gold lace border in Surat saris and Surat textile. Huge banking houses at Surat by Kathiawada Seths. Kathiawad जो area है, Kathiawad Peninsula या Kathiawad area जो है, वहाँ के जो Seths हैं और Mahajans. Okay, so you see this trading and business oriented and all these things are existing in Gujarat since a long time. Now, what are the imports into India? Like, what are the things which we get from the outside world? For example, there's tin and copper, which is very important. Warehouses, luxury items such as ivory. Okay. And there's a balance of trade was maintained by the import of gold and silver. Okay. So whatever trade, whatever we are giving, it's coming in the form of gold and silver to us. There's a growth of foreign trade, which has resulted in the increased import of gold and silver in the 17th century. This is what I was just telling you, that we are giving so much to them that we are getting gold and silver in return. One of the travelers had, in fact, accounted that gold and silver flowed through the whole world and lastly came to India. So he said that gold and silver actually, after traveling to so many places, finally came and settled to India, which shows that the final destination of the trading activities, okay, is India. All right, so India is that important. The Dutch and English traders who came to Gujarat during 17th century found that Indian traders were alert and brisk. So they were in complete awe of the civilization where these traders are such alert and such smart and such sharp. Obviously, गुजरातियों से कौन बेहतर ट्रेड कर सकता है क्यों? So so Dutch and English people, this is what they talk about Gujarati people, and it's true, isn't it? Even today, the sharp-mindedness are reaching the realm of politics also. So now let's discuss about the painting, music, and all these things, literature and language later. All right. I'm not covering architecture here because that we will do together with the entire medieval architecture tomorrow. So I'll discuss painting, music, and I will discuss music, literature, and language. Okay, these are the things which I will discuss today. Please understand this. इस पे question आते हैं. This is very much related to your art and architecture, art and culture का portion. So Mughal's contribution to painting is remarkable. It is, matlab, there's no doubt about that. And the foundation of the painting was laid by Humayun. So basically, it's Humayun who actually starts with the painting tradition, who brought two Persian painters. This is very important. You can write their names. Mir Sayyad Ali, and Abdul Samad. Abdul Samad. These were two very famous Persian painters. Or in Persian painters को लाता कौन है? Humayun. But these paintings become very famous during the reign of Akbar's reign. So these people become very famous and their paintings become famous during Akbar's reign. So these people are contemporary both to Humayun and Akbar. Several literary and religious text illustrations were painted on orders of Akbar. This is an important thing, which I'm going to discuss a little later, that how Ramayana and Mahabharata are translated from their original language to Persian. Okay, so there is a complete factory or the complete group of people, industry, group of people who are working on the translation and illustration of several literary and religious texts under the ruler Akbar. He invited a number of painters from all over India, which includes both Hindus and Muslims. Important painters in Akbar's court were Baswan, Miskina, and Daswan. So I want you to write these names also. Baswan, Miskina, and Daswan. So either they can ask you that with whose courts they are related to, or they can ask you these names are related to what area. So they can ask you related to Mughal paintings, Mughal music, or say any other period they can talk about. So these are the names which are related to Mughal paintings. Mughal painting is a particular style of South Asian painting, which is generally confined to miniature, that is small portions, small pictures, and emerged from Persian painting. So this is a South Asian painting, but it has emerged from Persia, and they are basically miniature paintings. No miniature survived during the reign of Babur. ऐसा नहीं है कि बाबर के टाइम में miniature paintings नहीं थी, but did not survive. Copies of Babar Nama were illustrated by his descendants. So it is after Babur that there are various copies of Babar Nama which is written. What are the miniature paintings here? So there are Persian versions of Mahabharata and Ramayana, which I'm going to discuss a little later. I'm going to show you the paintings themselves were produced in miniature form. छोटे छोटे forms में they are produced. Akbar had enlarged his father's painting library. So we know that it started under Humayun, but Akbar carried on. Akbar Nama, which is written by Abul Fazl. Okay, so we come across Akbar Nama. Please write Akbar Nama, and Akbar Nama ko dash laga ke write Abul Fazl. Even if you have written earlier, do not feel shy in writing again. So Akbar Nama, which is written by Abul Fazl, is remain main themes of Mughal painting. The most important work is Hamza Nama, which consists 1200 paintings. So you can put a dash and write again Hamza Nama. What is Hamza Nama? It narrates the legendary exploits of Amir Hamza, an uncle of Prophet Muhammad. So Hamza is a legendary character who is uncle of Prophet Muhammad, and the paintings there discuss or Hamza Nama discuss the exploits of Amir Hamza. Though most of the stories are extremely fanciful, a continuous series of romantic interludes, threatening events, narrow escapes, and violent acts. So it's a beautiful illustration of the story of Amir Hamza in Hamza Nama is very important. Okay, and this is written during the time of Akbar. Indian colors such as peacock blue, Indian red, began to be used. Now, these are the two very famous paintings of Hamdanama. On the left hand, you see, and you make note of the colors also here. The painting depicts a devoted spy named Umar hired by Hamza. So there's Umar who is hired by Hamza, who discovers a hidden path to the castle of Furat. So there's a story, and he is finding a way to the castle of Furat. All right, this is that painting. Then this on the right hand side, there's another painting which shows an illustration, shows that there's a witch known as Ankarut in the guise of a beautiful young woman who hopes to seduce the handsome king Malik Ilraj, okay, whom she had captured and tied to the tree from Akbar's copy. So you from the Akbar's copy, you will find this Akbar ki copy jo hai of Hamzanama. You will find this painting where this story is there. What you have to remember, again, painting pe question nahi aega, but Hamza Nama, if they ask you Hamza Nama is related to whose reign, so definitely Akbar's reign. And it actually talks about the legendary exploits of Amir Hamza, who is the uncle of Prophet Muhammad, his stories, and there are various paintings. Again, make sure there are borders, the use of colors, miniature painting, matlab, ek choti painting mein there are so many things which are included. All right, and so this is very important about. Now, what happens of the painting under Jahangir? All right. Now, remember the painters among in the Akbar's reign. Now, the painters among in the reign of Jahangir. For example, Abul Hasan, Bihan Das, Madhu, Anand, Manohar, Govardhan, and Ustad Mansoor. Okay, so you see lot of Hindu painters also. In fact, अगर आपको किसी का नाम इसे mention करना है तो बिशन दास is very important. बिशन दास is very important. Manohar is very important because इनकी जो paintings हैं you get a lot in the galleries. And Govardhan, and finally Ustad Mansur. So these four people are very famous. Okay. Now, another place where I think you should visit in your free time is National Gallery of Modern Art. Okay, where you get various modern art paintings along with National Museum, because National Museum will show you the archaeological evidences as well as this literary and paintings and all are also there. Also try to visit wherever you are in your city. I'm sure there's a national museum there, sorry, there's a city museum in your city. If there is, do go there whenever you get time. It develops your interest in history. All right, so many albums containing paintings and calligraphy were produced during the Mughal period. The brushworks become finer and colors are lighter. He was deeply influenced by European paintings. So one ruler who is influenced by European paintings is Jahangir. He encouraged paintings depicting events of his own life, individual portraits, and studies of birds, flowers, animals, scenes of hunting, battles, and royal courts. In fact, if you see the Jahangir Nama, which is written during his lifetime, is an autobiographical account of Jahangir's reign. Now, this Jahangir Nama, again, you can write the term Jahangir Nama. Jahangir Nama. This Jahangir Nama students have a lot of paintings in it. For example, there's a very famous painting where there's a union of a saint with a tigress. So there is a sadhu and a tiger, and they unite. And then there's a fight between various spiders. So such kind of paintings are there in Jahangir Nama, which makes the book really very beautiful. Now, among various paintings, I just wanted to pick up this painting because this painting also tells us about one environment related fact. So this is a painting by Ustad Mansoor. Remember, Ustad Mansoor is in the time of Jahangir, and he paints natural environmental objects, these living creatures. Okay, birds are very evident. Birds and plants are very evident in his painting. And if you see that this special painting consists of one extinct bird, which is dodo. Dodo is a bird which has extinct a long time back, and that shows that during the time 1628 to 33 period, dodo existed. Okay, and that is how dodo is drawn by Ustad Mansoor. So dodo is, I think, the center figure, or is maybe that is a dodo. So dodo is very important. It's an extinct bird, but during the time of Ustad Mansoor, it existed and it has been drawn. Now, what are the paintings under Shah Jahan? So, students, under Shah Jahan, paintings developed, but it became very cold and rigid. Okay, gradually cold and rigid. Can you tell me why? Can you just guess why? Shah Jahan is a great emperor, okay, and he is patronizing art and architecture. But why is it that during his time the paintings are becoming cold and rigid, or kind of a decline from Shah Jahan's reign? Can you can you tell me why? Can you tell me why from Jahangir saying this painting is getting declined? Yes, the major reason is that his more fake focus is on architecture. अब आप लोग कहेंगे कि सर आर्किटेक्चर पे क्यों फोकस है कि पेंटिंग में क्यों नहीं है ना? दोनों तो रिलेटेड हैं. It's all about hobbies, na? I mean, song and dance are related, but some people might like songs. Singing is a hobby. For some people, dancing is a hobby. So it is because of his interest in architectural activities. Now, themes include musical parties, lovers, aesthetics gathered around a fire. So these, ऐसा नहीं है कि painting खत्म हो जाती है. Painting रहती है, but it's architecture which is flourishing more. But it is in the time of Aurangzeb that there is no active involvement of Aurangzeb into Mughal paintings. But I would like to mention here that there are folk paintings. There are paintings at local levels, in localities, and there are regional paintings which are rising up. All right. So it's only the ruler who is not patronizing so much of painting, and the reason is that he's an Orthodox Muslim. He's an Orthodox Islamist, and he does not believe in this kind of symbolism. So, or any kind of painting, dancing, music, and art. So he in his reign, this painting system is declining, so he is there is no patronization from the side of the court, or there is no state which is investing in painting. So Aurangzeb ke time mein decline. But do not get confused. There are folk painting, there are local painting, there are regional paintings, there are personal investments in paintings. All these things are there. Okay. Now, what about music? What about music? So obviously, you have to discuss music if you are discussing Mughal Empire. So music had played a great role again in the Mughal Empire. For example, you all know about the great Tansen of Gwalior. Tansen composed many rags, and he was a prominent Hindustani classical music composer, musician, and vocalist. In fact, he's a disciple of a very famous saint known as Saint Haridas. So you must mention in your white list Tansen and Haridas. Tansen and Haridas. Tansen and Haridas. Okay. So as the lecture is progressing, some people are getting very much excited. They're remembering all movies and all songs, which is good. You are connecting. And this is how I teach also, isn't it? So you should have fun. So some people have started singing Khwaja Mere Khwaja. Good, good, good. You must sing and study. He was a disciple of Swami Haridas. Jahangir and Shah Jahan were also fond of music. The classical music performed in the Mughal court survived today in the form of Dhrupad. So Dhrupad is an important, invention during the time of Tansen, which started in the Mughal court and which survives even today. Aine Akbari, which is written by Abul Fazl. Okay, Aine Akbari, which is written by Abul Fazl, suggests that there are 36 musicians in the Mughal courts of Akbar. Okay, there are 36 musicians in Mughal courts of Akbar. Abhishek is reminding me again and again, sir, these are 9 gems of Akbar. Okay, so I think I have missed that point, that there in Akbar's time there were Navratnas, or 9 gems. This may Abul Fazal and many people are there. I must have missed that slide. I am sorry, Abhishek, and I'm sorry a lot of people. I must have not made it a part of my list. So ये चीज जरा तुम लोग ऐड कर लेना, the 9 gems navratnas of Akbar. Okay, and Abhishek reminds me again and again, so 9 gems, so I must include it. Uh, so just mention in your note kahin bhi ki 9 gems you have to mention somewhere of Akbar. Who else had 9 gems? Who else had no, navratnas? We've discussed it. Who else had navratnas? Abhishek, batao. Who else had navratnas? Which other king is known for navratnas? Anyways, so it mentions two important players native to Gwalior known as Shihab Khan and Purbin Khan. So just write these two names: Shihab Khan, Shihab Khan, and Purbin Khan. Sorry, Shihab Khan and Purbin Khan. Nobody has been able to answer Navratnas were in other somebody else's court also. I have also shown a picture also to you. नवरत्नास किसके कोर्ट में थे भाई? इस रूलर के कोर्ट में नवरत्ना थे. अकबर हिमसेल्फ वाज अ लर्नेड म्यूजिशियन. ओके, ही हिमसेल्फ इज अ लर्नेड म्यूजिशियन. और वही है, जब अपने आप को रुचि रहती है और इंटरेस्ट रहता है और आता है, देन ओनली यू कैन मेक अदर रिलीजन or make other activities popular. Okay, make other art form popular. All right, now yes, now Keshav answers, which is correct. Vikramaditya. Okay, good. So भाई पीछे का मत भूलो, you have an important announcement tomorrow. तो पीछे का याद होना बहुत जरूरी है उसके लिए. Now this is a painting on the left hand side where this is definitely, it's not a real painting, it's an imagination where there is your Haridas, Saint Haridas, and then you have your Tansen, and then you have Akbar in that same frame. So somebody has imagined that Tansen has gone to meet Haridas, and this is where Akbar sees Tansen meeting Haridas. So you can see Tansen by his sitar there, and of course Akbar is there. This is the Tansen's tomb in Gwalior. So in the Gwalior you will find Tansen's tomb, and this is near his Sufi master Muhammad Ghaus tomb. Okay, so Tansen's tomb is near his master's tomb. What about literature? Literature during Akbar, definitely you know about Abul Fazl. Okay, I'm not mentioning it again. Abul Fazl has in fact written 3 volumes of Akbar's reign, title named as Akbar Nama. First volume is dealing with Akbar's ancestors. So the pehli volume it talks about the ancestry history of Akbar. Second volume talks about Akbar's reign. And third important volume is Aine Akbari. What is Aine Akbari? It deals with Akbar's administration, his household, his army, revenue, geography, and all these things. तो ये आईने अकबरी अकबरनामा दो अलग अलग किताब नहीं है. अकबरनामा is suppose it's a voluminous book, and there are 3 volumes of it. Third volume is Aine Akbari, which discuss about the administration of Akbar, the geography of his empire, administration. So this book becomes very important for historians. Okay, it tells a lot about history. So not only of Akbar's time, but also Akbar's ancestors. And it also gives some statistical details about crops, fields, prices, wages, and revenue. Abul Fazl set a style of prose writing, and it was followed by many generations. So he develops this prose writing. There's prose and poetry, isn't it? So he develops a prose writing, which is followed by many generations. Even today, there are prose writers. The leading poet of his dynasty of this Akbar's reign is Abul Fazl. You have already mentioned this, so I'm not asking you to write in the white list. Abul Fazl and Abul Fazl are the brothers. The translation of Mahabharata into Persian language was done under his supervision. Now remember, I'm writing under his supervision. So Abul Fazl is not by his own or alone. He's not translating Mahabharata into Persian language. There is a team which works. Okay, under his guidance, Abul Fazl. There are painters, there are illustrators, there are translators. Okay, so under the supervision of Abul Fazl, Mahabharata is translated. Okay, so this is an important. Another important leading Persian poets are Ubti and Naziri. So I want you to write Ubti and Naziri. You have to remember only Ubti and Naziri are poets under the reign of Akbar. They are contemporaries to Akbar. Now see, this is a very important painting. Remember, this is not a painting of Ibadat Khana. This is a different painting. Can anybody suggest or can anybody guess कि ये painting किस चीज का दिखा रहा है? what is the main painting subject here? What is the main painting subject here? It's a very famous painting during the time of Akbar. Any history is incomplete if this painting is not told or shown to you. I'm telling you that. Okay, if your teachers of the past, of the schools, of the colleges have not talked about this painting, I mean, well, their profession is in danger, and you're because so this painting is basically, as I told you, that Akbar Nama is very famous book. It tells about the history of the Mughal Empire. In fact, it's a book of history for the modern day people. All right, अकबर नामा नहीं होता तो हम लोग को बहुत कुछ नहीं पता चलता. This is the painting where Abul Fazl gives Akbar Nama to Akbar. This is that painting where Abul Fazl is giving. You see Abul Fazl sitting here, and he is वो अकबर नामा अकबर को दे रहा है ताकि ये होता है ना opening of the book or unveiling of the book. So that is somewhere release of the book. So maybe it is that episode where Akbar Nama is written and he is giving Akbar Nama to Akbar, that he's presenting Akbar Nama to Akbar. So this is a very important painting which tells us about this event, which is going to tell us about the history of the Mughal Empire through the book of Akbar Nama. It's a very important and celebrated painting. Okay, now some of you have written some very funny answers. Do you want me to read the funny answers which you have written? Can somebody send me a hi? Please send me a hi quickly. I'll not read the names, but I'll just read some of the answers. Okay, so I'll not read your name. Okay, I'll not read your name. So some people have said that it's a Janta Darbar. Okay, so which is not very funny. Okay, you can see that it may be a Janta Darbar. uh, One of the very smart student amongst you have written that he has. It seems like he's giving an Apple iPad to Akbar. All right, there's somebody giving an Apple iPad to Akbar. Well, this is very cheeky of you. Uh, but one funny answer is here. It's a scene of birth of Akbar. Now I wonder where is the child here? Where is the child? Where is the child? And I mean, why birth of Akbar will be like this? I mean, there is no women, and um, where is the okay? कोई बात नहीं. Maybe this red thing is seen as a baby. Okay, I'm not going into that detail. But anyways, I'm just for entertainment. Okay, you should not be. अब मैं तो history का student हूँ, तब भी मुझे इतना कुछ आता है और नहीं आता है. So it's just not to make fun of you, but it's just to make the environment a little jolly. There is no, I'm not embarrassing you in any sense. Now, what is the literature during Jahangir's time? So there's Jahangir's autobiography called Tuzuki Jahangiri. So I want you to mention this name in your whitelist. Tuzuki Jahangiri. Tuzuki Jahangiri is a autobiography of Jahangir. So I hope you understand what do we mean by autobiography. Autobiography means written by self. So अगर ये पूछा जाए Tuzuki Jahangiri किसने लिखी है? So it is written by Jahangiri. Now he patronized many scholars like Gyas Beg, Naqib Khan, Niamutola. So please write these names: Gyas Beg, Naqib Khan, and Niamutola. 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 Then there is Abul Hamid Lahori. Abul Hamid Lahori. Just write these names because what they will ask you that ये किसके contemporary हैं, ठीक है, किसके contemporary हैं, या पूछ लेंगे कि which area of work they are related to, either they are writers or poets or what they are, or painters. So in fact Abul Hamid Lahori wrote Padsha Nama. Then there is Inayat Khan who wrote Shah Jahan Nama. So Inayat Khan. Now Inayat Khan is during the time of Shah Jahan. So there is this confusion here. He wrote Shah Jahan Nama. Then his son Dara Shikoh translated the Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad into Persian. So Jahangir's son Dara Shikoh, that is why he's one of the. I'm sorry, he's son of Shah Jahan. Sorry, there's this. I forgot to write Shah Jahan. So Shah Jahan son Dara Shikoh is the one who converts Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad into Persian language, who translates it into Persian language, and that is why I used to say that Dara Shukla is one of the favorite sons of Shah Jahan. Then, during time of Aurangzeb, many historical works were written in Aurangzeb period. Famous dictionaries of the Persian language are compiled during the period of Aurangzeb. Now, when we come to Persian language, Persian language, which is the uh, important language in the Mughal Empire. That is their original language. They bring it to India. Then there are regional languages also. Remember, Mughal Empire is made up of regional empires, isn't it? The regional rulers are becoming their commanders and their governors. Okay, so Bengali, Uriya, Rajasthani, Gujarati, all these things develop. Many devotional works like Ramayana and Mahabharata were translated into regional languages. And this is a very interesting fact, and that's why it comes again and again. From the time of Akbar, Hindi poets are attached in the Mughal courts. So remember all those people who think Akbar as a foreigner and he is doing a favor to Hindi also. Okay, so Hindi poets were attached to the Mughal court. The most influential Hindi poet was Tulsi Das. He wrote Hindi version of the Ramayana and the Ramcharit Manas. So I don't think there is anything which you have to note down in white here. Now, here are the three scenes. Okay, now these three scenes are from Mahabharata when they are translated into uh, Persian. These are the these are the paintings which are there, the miniatures which are part of the book. All right. So this is definitely on the left hand side. The biggest painting is the Mahabharat ka युद्ध दिखा रहे हैं उसमें. Then there is on the right hand side, uh, if you see on the right hand side, the painting which is above, it shows that when Ram is leaving Ayodhya, okay, that scene is being shown. Now you have to you just take note of one thing which is very interesting. Do you see the costumes? Do the costumes are also Persian and Mughali costumes? They are not the costumes like रामानंद सागर के सीरियल्स में आप देखते हैं या पुराने एंशियंट टाइम्स या हिंदू किंगडम्स वाले costumes nahi hai. These are Persian costumes. All right, that is how they are being shown. See the rulers, see the queens, see the princes. All right, and then also make a note of these small Persian text which is written on the side of the paintings. Okay, this tells what these paintings mean. Okay, so that is also केवल painting लगा के नहीं छोड़ देना है, उसमें बताना भी है कि वो किस चीज से related है. Okay, then now though a lot of people have answered, but I just want to, you all, it's very evident, but can you tell me the last painting, which is the third painting, it relates to which episode in Mahabharata? It relates to which episode in Mahabharata? And do you make do you see the turbans here of the Mahabharata rulers? Do you see the turbans here? All right. And do you see the signature here? Do you see the text here? All right. So these are these things, and definitely this is the Draupadi Chirharan ka, very good, Draupadi Chirharan ka episode. Okay, this is how we finish today's lecture. We have completed almost the entire Mughal India. I would not cover the decline of Mughal Empire because that I have already taught in the modern India lecture. If I get tomorrow a little time, I will discuss that. And because I have to do a lot of, there are remaining part of art and architecture in the Mughal and the medieval period, which is left, which I will do. Then there will be some questions. Remember, questions we have not discussed from many classes, from at least 2-3 classes. So those questions are very important, which I'm going to do. All right, with you. Now, you have heard this name Panipat so many times today, Battle of Panipat, first and second, which has occurred. Now you have to, tomorrow I will ask you why Panipat is such an important place to fight battles in medieval India. Why Panipat is such an important battle to fight, the place to fight battles in medieval India. This question has come in GS paper 1. Most of you know the answer also. Please have some patience, answer tomorrow. Remind me that I will ask this question. So tomorrow we will finish up the entire medieval India. We will finish medieval India. We will do some questions and there will be some important announcements also. There will be some important announcements also, and it is related to your studies. Please take care of yourself. All right. And I know there are a lot of things going on the lockdown, whether the lockdown will extend or not or something like that. Well, I think the lockdown should extend. I don't know whether it will extend, but it should extend. But you have to carry on with your studies. And ISH is doing a good work. Okay, believe it or not, they are doing good work, and we are a small team, but very efficiently. They're trying to help you, and they're trying to develop also themselves. And I'm sure you will be not left alone in this struggle. So be there with me tomorrow. All right, and okay, now quickly, we have started a tradition of praying in the end for the world and the society. Our education, हमारे education का purpose ही वही है. So let us all, pray. You would be finding it very silly, but let us do it. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit bhagavat. So bye bye. See you tomorrow with a happy smile. Take care.